Bienvenido, BIGJAY, escape a República Dominicana. Hasta pronto, papi.
BIGJAY'S, take one.
Welcome everybody to BIGJAY'S Escape to Dominican Republic. Thank you for joining me this evening. We're just going to wait for the room to warm up a little something and we'll be back.
Mistakes is my mentor. That wall I kept crashing into. You dig? The game is to be sold, not told, so these people don't tell you shit. And their advice don't be worth a shit neither. It's hard to take advice from a nigga that never know where you going and never been to any place that you've been to. You dig? So a lot of the lessons I've learned was by making terrible mistakes or making wrong decisions, and with all that knowledge from learning from my mistakes is what got me here. Plus, I'm pretty good with common sense.
Welcome people. Blessing Stallion, I see you in the building. Stallion is in the building. Glenn Bull, appreciate you bro for always pulling up. Everything's good with you. I'll be seeing you soon, my brother. I'll be seeing you soon, man. Happy about the good news, man. So yeah, you know. Big Super, yes, Big Super will be back. Big Super will be back. Thanks for the super chat, Stallion. Big Super will definitely be back. So don't you worry about that. You know, he will be back. We do have a special guest today, so I'm just waiting for her to pull up. I think she's getting everything ready, so she should be with us in a short while. London town in the building, peace, manners and respect, bro. Salute, salute, salute. But yeah, Glenn Bull, man, I'm just happy. I don't sound too loud, do I, people? Just mic check 1 2, because I've been listening to a lot of my old content, and for some reason the mic is just loud. So how is my audio? Is it too loud? Please, people, let me know. I don't want to be screaming down, because people keep saying that my audio is too loud. So I just need to know if my audio is okay, or is it perfect, or what. And please let me know. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Audio's good. Okay. So yeah, we're just waiting for our guest to come today. I have a guest. She's been around, you know, the whole YouTube world. Yes. Let me just say salute. The audio's good. Thanks, Stallion. Glenn Bull, salute to you. KJ, you're good. You can come up. I can come up a little. Okay, then cool. Let me sort it out a little bit. Then I can come up a little. All right, cool. Thank you, people. Let me sort this audio out. Cause sometimes my audio is very loud. Okay. How are we doing now for the audio? Am I cool? How am I doing now, people, with the audio? Am I good? Westside TNZ, yes, blessings, bro. I see you, manners and respect. Salute to you and your girl, bro. I see you doing good things, TMZ. So, you know what I mean? Salute to you. Just keep on working hard, bro. And yeah, man, just keep on working hard on your channel, man. But I see you brought your girl over to, whoops, she's dropped out again. I see you working hard in, you brought your girl over to America. So I see both of you, man. So salute to you. Anyway, people, without further ado, I'm going to welcome Valentina, aka Africandomincan, to Big J's Escape to the Dominican Republic. How you doing, Valentina? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you fine. You sound fine. Perfect.
Okay. So, let me just see what's going on my hair.
Okay, that's fine. Just bear with us, people. To look forward to That's all good. That's all good. Extreme pics. That's all good, man. I'm not on a YouTube channel, so you can hear me better. Okay, great. Yeah. So I want to welcome you to Big J's Escape to Dominican Republic. If you, I'm getting feedback.
You're getting feedback from me?
Have you got something open in the background? Just check your background.
No, I do not. I am on my headphone.
Okay, let me just mic check 1 2. No, it's fine now. It's fine. Yeah,
okay.
It's had a little bit of an echo, but it's fine now. So I want to welcome you to my platform.
Thank you so much.
I've seen you, you know, around the whole. No, I'm still getting feedback.
Still getting feedback.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Let me just check my audio. Excuse me, people.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, should I go on mute? Let me go on mute and see if you still hear it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's cool now. Yeah, actually, that's actually cute. Cool. Yeah, that's all right now. I'm not getting no feedback. So, like I said, I've seen you around the Dominican Republic area, and we, you know, within passing, we haven't really had a chance to talk or chop it up. But you know, through mutual friends, yeah, we managed to link up, and here we are today. So, you're Namibian. So I want to give you a Namibian welcome, so forgive it, because I do have friends from Namibia, so here it goes. Sorry, that was poor. I'm sorry, that was poor, but hey.
That was actually good.
Cool.
That was actually good. Yeah, thank you so much, Big J, for having me on your platform. It's an honor to be here, so I really appreciate it. And yes, I'm Namibian. My parents are from Namibia, but I was born in Angola.
Ah, okay. So what was the upbringings like? Please do share. Before you go, just want to say big up Extreme Pics, and Chris Stogan's in the building. Big yourself up. The originator of the whole YouTube sphere. Have to give him his props when it's due. You know, so big yourself up, Chris Stogan. So please continue.
Okay, so the way it all began is, well, I'm from a family of travelers. So my background actually ties into the whole Passport Brothers, this topic of today. I was born by parents who traveled. My parents are what you call freedom fighters or guerrillas. They left their country, Namibia, at the age of 19 and 21. They were not together. They were just like a teenager and a young man leaving their country because Namibia was under apartheid rule, brutal apartheid rule. So my parents traveled outside the country, fled to look for better opportunities, just like a lot of travelers are doing today. So that's how I ended up being born in Angola, because my parents left the apartheid system to go into exile into Angola to fight for their country so they can have a better future and better opportunities in the future, basically.
Wow. Okay, so you actually grew up in Angola then?
Yes, I grew up in Angola. I spent the first 10 years of my life there. And then the first time I actually traveled was when I was 10 years old, leaving Angola, leaving the refugee camp, because I was born in a refugee camp, basically. So the war ended, apartheid ended, and my parents were freedom fighters. They freed their country. And then now all the children who were born in refugee camps in exile, we all went with our parents back to the original countries. So the first time I traveled was when I left Angola on a military cargo plane going to Namibia. So that's when my travel journey started.
Wow.
So
Okay.
life in Angola is an exiled child in a refugee camps was actually pretty good. We were not too close to the war zone, although the South African, the Boers, the white people tried to bomb our camps, and oftentimes we had to hide under the beds to take cover because we were being bombed. And sometimes we had to go to sleep in military clothes, ready to wake up anytime, because my parents had to shoot back at like the South African military planes who tried to attack our camps and kill us. So I grew up around that, but it wasn't like an everyday thing, but I was raised to always be able to be survival mode, make sure, that, anytime you have to be able to just move, because I was a military child. I was a guerrilla freedom fighters child growing up. Anyways, it was a good environment. It wasn't like traumatic or anything like that, because we got everything for free. Nice people, Jamaicans, Cubans, not so much of Americans, but Russians. They all came to our aid, make sure we were safe. They provided military weapons for my family, for my parents to fight back. So it was a very enlightening experience for me growing up. Just seeing Black people fighting for what they believe is right for themselves and traveling the world to better their lives. So that's what I grew up around.
Great. So before we even get to America, which you told me that you're in the DC area, being an African, because I know a lot of Africans travel to Europe. Just a question, did you touch Europe before you got to America?
Yes, I did. So like I mentioned, my first travel experience was leaving Angola, going to Namibia on a plane. And about a year and a half later, my father was appointed the ambassador of Namibia to England. He was the High Commissioner. So then me and my family, we picked up, we went to London, we stayed there for 5 years. My father was a diplomat. And while in England, I met people from different walks of life, all Asians, Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, all my peoples, people from Malaysia, Brunei, China. So I was exposed to like the national community. So while I was in England, I realized that I loved the world. I went to a school where geography was my favorite topic. Like, you can give me a blank world map at the age of 15, and I could put every country in the world on a blank world map where they are exactly with their capital cities. So that's how I was like accustomed to the world, and from an early age while living in London. And then that's how I got to know the international community, and that's how I knew I would love to travel, and I became a world traveler through my dad, who's a diplomat and an ambassador.
Wow. Big up Pops, man. Big up Pops. So,
thank you.
What led you to America? So after traveling Europe and being in England, which I don't blame you for leaving England, it's too cold. There's nothing here. So what led you to America after that?
So I agree, England was very cold. But it was so funny because when I was in England, that was actually the best place for me to be, because it was the first country I really grew up in, because I became kind of like an adult, not an adult, but a teenager in England. So then I told you my father is a diplomat, so his term as an ambassador or high commissioner in England ended, right? So we had a choice to go to either Japan, no, not a choice. The government of Namibia was going to send my dad to either Japan or the USA. But but I prayed to God, please, because living in England, you see all these American movies, all the American music, and you think, oh my goodness, America is so cool. Black people in America are so cool. I want to come to America and be around the cool Black people. That was really my dream. So I prayed to God, please, let's not be sent to Japan. Let's go to America instead. And God answered my prayers. And before we know it, okay, guys, let's go to America. And then we came to Washington, D.C. And my father became the Namibian ambassador to the USA, representing representing Namibia in the USA, in Latin America, and in the Caribbean, because he was covering those areas.
So what age was you when you got to America?
Well, I had just turned 17.
Okay, so you were still young, so you were going college over there, and
yeah. So when I left London, I just completed my A levels. Well, I was my first year of A levels. So and then there's a different education system. So when I came to the USA with the different terms, different ways of doing things, I had to start, instead of going to the 12th grade, I had to go to 11th grade.
Right.
So I spent 2 years of my first years in America in high school, which was a good experience. I really got to know Americans, Black Americans, and I really got to just live out that whole dream that I always had about Black Americans, like being the coolest people, growing up, seeing them on TV, listening to the music and all that cool stuff. Yeah, so that's how I ended up in Washington, D.C. area as an ambassador's daughter, a diplomat. And so just to say that all my life from the age of 10, I've been surrounded by world travelers, by men who travel, by Black men who travel the world. So that's why this passport brotherhood or brothers to the passport, Black men who travel, is dear to my heart, because I was raised around that, seeing my dad travel the world, not only for himself, but to represent his community, his people, his country in a dignified way. So that's what I'm used to seeing through world travelers who are male and who are Black.
Which we will get onto. We'll definitely get onto that. So, obviously, going to America at 17, being exposed to a new culture. What did that feel like? Obviously, coming from England, which England's a different culture, and jumping into America. How was that transition?
The transition was not so bad, because I think living in England, I was so exposed to the Black American culture through music and movies, So I went with that mindset, like, oh my goodness, these cool people, the way they talk and walk. I'm a teenager, so I'm thinking that way. But also me, naturally, I easily adapt to any environment. So it's never it takes me like a few hours to adapt to any environment, because I have that natural. I don't know if it's a talent or just a gift that I have. It takes me like seconds to adapt to any environment. So to me, it wasn't a hard adjustment. I felt right in. I made friends right away. And when I was in high school, most of my friends were like Black Americans and Caribbeans. And I was part of the Caribbean crew in high school. So we listened to dance hall music, soccer. We'll go to the carnival. So that was like my thing. Like when I came to America, it's more like people associate me with the Caribbean more than anything else.
Yeah, because I've met a lot of I just want to check people. How is my sound? Am I still echoing? Just want to check with the viewers to make sure that my sound's good. People, how is my sound? Anybody? I'm still echoing.
You sound good to me. I don't hear the echo. You sound just clear.
I'm hearing echo my end, but
I don't hear it.
They're saying turn off the music, turn down the music in the background. Okay, thank you. Glenn Ball says I'm good. So I'm getting conflicting messages. Okay, so let me turn down the music first of all. Right, people are saying turn down the music, so maybe it is a bit too high. So, and bear with me, people. I am learning on the job, so
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Let me just. Right, so I've turned down the music. So does my sound? No, but the background music is too loud. How is it now, people? Is it still good? Am I echoing? Come on, somebody talk.
I don't know why I don't hear any echoing. It was loud. The music was loud before, but it wasn't to a point where I couldn't.
Okay,
it was bothering me.
Sound perfect. Okay, thank you, Extreme Picks. Okay, great. Thanks, people. Thanks, people. I just had to stop because I'm hearing echo in my end, but she doesn't hear it. As long as you guys don't hear it, that's fine. That's fine.
Right.
So, because like I said, I've met a load of brothers from DC, and they're actually they got Caribbean backgrounds, so I can see how you would have bumped into a lot of Caribbean people. So spending time in America, growing up there, getting embedded to the culture, fast forward. What made you come to the Dominican Republic? And before we even go there, did you visit any other Caribbean countries before you went to Dominican Republic, or was Dominican Republic? Well, actually, did you go to any other Caribbean countries before you stepped foot in Dominican Republic?
No, I did not. I wanted to go to Trinidad and Jamaica because those were the closest ones to me, but I didn't get a chance to go yet. But then my closest people growing up actually were Dominicans. They were Dominican, because in high school, my closest friends were Dominicans. And this is how I came into the Dominican culture. I love music and dance. I already know about Caribbean music or soca, dancehall. That was my thing because they call me the dancehall queen. Because when I dance, everybody's like, "Yo, you're the dancehall queen." But anyway, so while in high school, my first year in high school, they had a Hispanic month celebration, right? So during that Hispanic month, I saw people listening. They had a bachata merengue presentation on a stage during high school, and that was my first time actually seeing or hearing that music. But it hit me so hard in my heart. I was like, because I love music and dance, and I was like, wait, what is that? It spoke to me instantly, and I think they were playing Juan Luis Guerra, who is like the most authentic, celebrated Dominican artist. Juan Luis Guerra. He's so pro-Africa, pro-Black, and his music is so authentic to the African heritage. So I heard his music, and that it's like I heard Dominican Republic calling me. I didn't know what the country was. I'm like, that music, that dance, it's reminding me of something from my childhood, but I don't know what it was, but it's Africa. It's like that, those roots were in that Dominican music. So after that, I talked to my friends, in like one of my friends from Haiti. I was like, girl, who's that guy who was dancing on stage? And she's like, oh, that's the man who is from Dominican Republic. I'm like, what? He is fine, So I'm like, you need to find me a fine Dominican guy, So then, I started listening to the music and learning the bachata and merengue salsa. And before you know it, watching it took me like maybe a week or so to really master it because dance comes natural to me. So then after that, I just started seeing more Dominican guys, Dominican guys in high school. We hang around. And then my first boyfriend, my first boyfriend in high school was Black American because that was my dream. Black American guy. So I was going to marry one. I told myself that I married Black American because they're so cool. And then I met a Dominican. I'm like, Black Americans, step aside. Here comes Dominican Republic. So I started dating Dominican guy. My first boyfriend was Dominican in high school. And, the whole family would hang out. And that's how I became acquainted with them. Like, as soon as I landed in America, those are my people. And we're just cool, But like I said, Juan Luis Guerra, the king of Dominican Republic music.
Never heard of him. Never
heard of him. Oh my God, you gotta look him up. He called me to Dominican Republic because it wasn't for his music and those rich African, just listen to his purely African drums. The whole thing is just African, but with a Dominican twist.
Yeah, you can definitely hear when it comes to Latin music, you can definitely hear, the foundation of African music.
Exactly.
African music's in everything, it's the foundation, so you hear it in everything, they can't run away from it, down to their cooking, down to their utensils, you can't run away. As much as some of them, they want to deny it, just look at their food. That tells you all you need to know.
All you need to, you are so right. All you need to know, their food, their music. So Juan Luis Guerra called me to Dominican Republic, and then so I really believe he called me through his music because later on, I ended up being married to a Dominican. My Dominican husband at the time, he was like, Juan Luis Guerra sang a song about Namibia, and all this time we didn't know it was about Namibia. But I'm like, a Dominican major artist sang a song and mentioned Namibia and Namibian girl in that song. And I didn't even know about it until my husband pointed out. He didn't know. It's because when he met me, I was probably the few African that he knew. But it's like Namibia is being sung by a Dominican. So that man, Juan Luis Guerra, he's the one who came to Dominican Republic. And I don't know why he called me there, but I feel like now I know why he came to that country in the first place. Because he wants an African to remind Dominicans, about their African roots. And I believe only I can do that.
Okay, so that's what he actually sings then.
Yeah, he mentioned Namibian girl. He wants to go to Namibia to say Namibian girl. That's why he mentioned that in one of his songs. But that I only found that out like 2 years ago. But I already fell in love with the country back in maybe like in high school, long time ago. But through his music, but I didn't know he made a song about Namibia until maybe 3 years ago.
Wow.
So this man, he said, I give all the credit for me falling in love with Dominican Republic because it was through his music. Otherwise, I would have given a 2 cents about these people, but I do not because, and that's how I ended up being around Dominicans, the culture, the music. That's why I'm called African Dominican because.
So it was like the before we even get this, it was like the influence of obviously being around Dominican friends, marrying a Dominican. It obviously drew you more to the culture. So what year did you step foot on the soil of Dominican Republic? So
all throughout high school, I'm like, I need to go to DR. But I have to go to college and I have to work, get your money and everything because my father, who's a diplomat and ambassador, left the USA when I was 19 years old, right?
Okay.
So from the age of 19, I'm on my own, hustling, trying to make it out here. Trying to make sure, I make my parents proud because they left me here all by myself with no family member, just me and myself and I to make this thing work. So, and I always I'm going to go to DR one time. And then for the first time that I went to DR was actually in 2017. I went there for doing global health missions because I'm into the health field. I have a master's degree in health promotion management. So when I got my degree, I was like, I want to go to Haiti and Dominican Republic and offer my services. So I went to Dominican Republic and Haiti. I set up a mini clinic doing blood pressure readings, giving
What year was that?
That's in 2017.
Okay, so so 2017 you stepped foot in the Dominican Republic, which is okay.
Yeah, for the first time.
Okay, and you were doing missionary work. You said, is it fair to say that? Yeah. Well,
missionary, but it wasn't Christian. It was more like global health work.
Okay, so you also said that you was in Haiti as well.
Yeah, so I was like, so I told myself I'm gonna go to the island. I must well just hit both countries at the same time. So I went to DR first, did my global health, and I was mingling with the children, with the local Dominicans. I'm giving them health advice. I'm taking their blood pressure. I'm checking them, diabetes medications. I'm giving them all these. Basically, I went there to just invest in the people, share my knowledge about health because I'm very passionate about health. And then I also love the country. So from Dominican Republic, I took a bus from Santo Domingo to Port-au-Prince,
Okay, so you first landed in, so when you first went there, you was in the Santo Domingo area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
what was that like? What was that experience? It was down for the first time.
It was so funny because my friends, all my friends in the USA, they're like, do not go to Santo Domingo. It's so dangerous. Do not go there. Everybody's like, no, do not go there. Do not go there. And it's like, and I'm like, everybody's just telling me, get in my ears, don't go there. It's very dangerous. Okay. So then I'm like, and then one of my close Dominican friends was like, don't listen to all these people. I know you know it for a long time. I go to DR a lot, and I said Santo Domingo, that's my home ground. Go there, you'll be just fine. But if you didn't tell me that, I was getting ready to just cancel my whole flight because I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna go to this country because it seems like it's very dangerous and I'm not ready to go. But this guy, this Dominican gave me the peace of mind, and then I went, because me and him went to high school, so he would be one of my long Dominican friends, and he was like, no, just go. So I went there, but before I went, I was like, I need an organization to work with while I'm on the ground, right? Mm-hmm. So I did my research, and then I got in contact with the YMCA of Dominican Republic, right? And the director of the YMCA, he was like, okay, come down. We can definitely travel with you around to do what you need to do as far as health. And I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So I got there, I met up with the director of the Dominican Republic YMCA, Mr. Fortunato, a really nice guy. Introduced me to his family. His family, they were like taking care of me. They'll take me here and there. Take me to all these places to go and do my health clinics. And that's how it went. And then I was like, okay, great, thank you. And then I also, before I left the USA, I also did the same thing for Haiti. I was like, I'm not going to go to Haiti without knowing anybody there. So I did get in touch with the YMCA of Haiti, right?
Okay.
And
How long were you in Haiti for?
I was in Haiti for like a week, and in Dominican for a week. So a week in both. So when I was in Haiti, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna take the bus from Dominican, because I took the bus because I wanted to see the country for what because when you take the bus, you see everything. You're around the locals, you see everything. And I like to be around locals. Like when I travel, I don't like to be around like tourists. I want to feel like I'm part of the of the culture and the country and the people, right? Mm-hmm. So then I took the bus from Santo Domingo to Port-au-Prince. And then the people, the YMCA people met me at the bus stop. They took me to my I guess an Airbnb. It was like a big house where Airbnb, I guess. Took me to my Airbnb, and then they're able to pick me up, take me around to do all my health promotion stuff. And it's like nice people, and I just had a really, really great time with them. And then from Haiti, I went back to Dominican Republic, because that was like my initial setup area. And
did you travel back to so after when you went to Haiti, did you travel direct back to Santo Domingo, or did you go to other areas?
I went back to Santo Domingo because that's like, so of course my ticket was from, DC area to Santo Domingo and back. Right. So I took the bus back, and because taking the bus is like, you get to see everything. I saw how the Haitians were treated, how the roadblocks would work, like the police will literally stop the bus, and then when they go and they'll pick on an Haitian person, they'll skip you and pick on an Asian person, be like, get off the bus, just randomly, and they'll set you. And so I was able to witness all that, for what it was. It was a nice experience, and I'll definitely do it again because I want to go to Haiti when things are better, because there's a lot of kidnapping there, so I want to make sure I'm safe. But I do love, so DR is it's my family place. My kids, my child is like half Dominican. I have Dominican family, so I'm very close to them. They're my people, so I do love Dominicans with all my heart because I'm used to them. I grew up with them in the USA. They be my family. Like, cause I told you my family went back to the USA when I was back to Namibia or Africa when I was 19. So from the age of 19, my peoples were like Caribbeans and Dominicans. Like, my close friends were Trinidadians and Jamaicans, but my closest friends were actually Dominicans. I'll go to the house for like holidays.
They're Caribbean too. They're Caribbean.
Exactly.
As much as they're part of the Latin world, they're Caribbean. I don't care. They're more Caribbean than Latin. I don't give a damn what they say.
You are right. I agree 100%. They're more Caribbean than Latin. I agree with that.
Because when I first went to Dominican Republic, the first thing I said is, this is Jamaica. They just speak Spanish. That's it. They just speak Spanish. That's it. They got their own little culture, obviously, but they just speak Spanish. But before I even go any further, please, people, there's 16 people. There was 22 people watching, but now we're down to 16 people. But it's all love. It's all good. Please smash that like button. If you want to donate to me, my Cash App is pinned to the top. Alternatively, just smash that like button. It really doesn't cost a thing. I am joined today on my channel by Africandomincan. Also, please go to her channel, subscribe, check out her videos. I mean, I was actually checking out your old videos. I mean, I see that you like to learn to dance in other cultures. Right. So I have seen that as well. What led that on to you loving dancing so much and picking it up so easy? I mean, because you just pick it up with so much ease.
Right. Yeah, I think it's because of that African in me. Because like you said, Africa is the foundation, and I think in that passion for music and dance, it's like I love music. If I see a music and I see a dance once or twice, and I do it on my own, I'll pick it up right away. And I do love people in the world culture. So me being exposed to the world culture, I can pretty much, even Indian music, I can just listen to Bhangra, and I know I can dance Bhangra really well. I can dance like any music in the world that sounds good. I can pretty much dance to it. So being in high school and just being around all these people from all types of cultures, that's how I managed to fall in love with them.
And you got some views on them videos as well. I've seen the numbers.
Yes.
I have seen the numbers. I'm like, what the hell? I've seen the numbers.
Yeah,
but no, that's self-explanatory,
Thank you. Yeah. It seems like people.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Now, so when I say that my dance videos tend to do well, I mean, yeah, but I don't want my chat to be all about just dance. I want to be, mix it up, but I want to focus more on things of African heritage, whether it's dance, music, people, anything that has an African influence in it. I definitely just want to focus on that. That's why I dance into Caribbean music. It's like, it's part of the culture, it's part of the African heritage.
So before we get to Sosúa, because I don't know where you lived, you know, in that area, if you lived in Puerto Plata or not.
Right.
But before you got to that region, let's say the North Coast, did you visit any other towns before you got to the North Coast?
Yes, I did. So with Dominican Republic, I've pretty much been all over the islands. I've been to
name a few.
Santo Domingo. I've been to Punta Cana. I've been to La Romana. I've been to Neighbor. I've been to Bani. I've been to Barahona. I've been to like Azua. So I've been, and then the first time I went to the central, because mostly I was just like around the southern area, like, you know, from coast to coast in the southern area. But last year, for the first time in 2021, I went to the central area. I went to Bonao. I went to Santiago, and I did a little bit of La Vega. And then I went.
Been to La Vega and Bonao. It's beautiful there. I went to a place called Pedra Blanca. It's proper campo, and I tell you what, I got a fresh fruit juice there. Oh my God, I literally had to drink 5 a day. It was that.
Right.
So yeah, it's beautiful there.
It's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
It's beautiful. I do like the campo area of Bonao. That's where I bought my property, because I feel like I live in I live in a big city. Right, I live in a big city, Washington D.C. So I don't want to go to Dominican Republic and go to another big city. So I wanted to go to a place like I can build a home for me and my family in a nice, you know, authentic Dominican area, like a campo. But now it's like, you know, it's campo city, but it's like, it's just a nice area. So that's why I chose Bonao, and I really do like Bonao, and I have friends from Bonao. So I like that area a lot. So then while I was in Bonao, because when I left the USA, I left to go to Bonao because that's where I went to buy my property. That's really why I left last year, to go and buy my property. So, and then I was like, okay, I'm in this country. I'm in Dominican Republic once again. Let me make my trip worthwhile, right? And last year I heard a lot about Sosúa, and I'm like, you know what?
We're gonna get onto that. We're gonna get onto that.
Okay.
We're gonna get onto that because as I said, I've seen you around the whole YouTube community. I've seen you on different panels pop up, you know. So I'm very familiar with who you are. You know, I've seen you even debate topics on colorism and racism. You know, I've seen it from afar. And being a woman turning up into Sosúa, what was your first when you got? The first thing, when you turned up into Sosúa, did you know what you were walking into? Did people warn you? I mean, your Dominican family, or was it just you just walked in and you just thought, whoa, shocked?
So let me tell you how I got into that whole thing with Sosúa. So I did not know about Sosúa that much or at all.
What year did you get there, by the way? What year?
Last year, 2021. I went there for the first time.
So you went for the first time, 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 2022, should we say?
2022, yeah, last year. Yeah, 2020. No. Yeah, last year, 2022. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, and no one that I knew about Sosúa, but like maybe a little bit before the pandemic hit, one of my coworkers, he works in my building, and his buddies are like, "Oh, we're going to Sosúa," and I'm like, "What is that? Where is that?" I mean, I've been to DR many times. Where is Sosúa? And it was like, "Oh, it's a little town up north, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know, I didn't know much about it, and it's like nobody spoke about it who I knew. So then he told me, "No, we go there, we just hang out." And I'm like, "Okay," you know, he's a guy and his friends. So I'm thinking, "Okay, Sosúa, okay, so it's a small town, right?" So I left that there, right, and then I joined. I was doing a research on Bonao because I was going to go and buy my property there. So I was doing research on YouTube. And then when I did my research, I came across a YouTuber, Xtina, because she's from Bonao, right? And I'm like, "Oh, you're from Bonao?"
I've heard of her.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, you're from Bonao? I'm going to Bonao," you know? So then I started going to her live, to her channel, and then, you know, seeing all these people on there doing the lives, like, and then all those people like Fighter and you guys, I saw you on Fighter's live. And that was because of Right. So that's how I came to know about Sosúa in more details from everybody talking about it on all these YouTube channels. I'm like, wait, why is that place, you know? And then thinking about, it's a prostitute town, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I'm like, really? And I'm like, okay, you know, my thing is like, there's nice people like Mr. Flip Flop, there's all these nice people there, you know? And I'm like, I'm trying to buy property. I'm buying property in Bonao, and I really like, I don't have to judge a place until I know what it is, right? So I'm like, I'm getting mixed feelings. People are like, oh no, it's where the hookers are. Oh no, it's a family town. And I'm like, what is it exactly? So let me go and find out for myself. So I went there out of curiosity. I knew what I heard about it. I knew what I heard about it, the other side of it, the prostitution side. And I also heard about it from all the beautiful beaches. Because I love Puerto Plata. Although I never went to Puerto Plata, I heard so many things about it. And that's like my favorite place in the year to go to. Even before I went to Santo Domingo, I want to go to Puerto Plata.
Plata's beautiful. I don't care what anybody says. It's beautiful there. It's beautiful there. I love it.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to go first. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to Puerto Plata. And while I'm there, I'm going to hit up Sosúa so I can see for myself what it is. You know, so I didn't go to DR to go to Sosúa. I went to DR to go and buy my property in Bonao. So for that whole trip, I did Bonao. And from Bonao, I went to Santiago. From Santiago, I went to Puerto Plata. And then I went to Sosúa. So it was like one straight drive, you know, it's like hitting up different towns. That's what I did. So before I went to Sosúa, I told Mr. Flip Flop, oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely stop by, you know, talk to you guys, because he's the only one that I really like knew, kind of like exchange numbers with, so we can, you know, talk, interview him, talk to him and stuff like that. So I went there, and I'm like, and he was like, no, Sosúa is a nice town, it's a beach town, you know, for families. It's not, you know, it's not a hooker town. I'm like, okay. And when I went to Sosúa, honestly, I guess I couldn't tell. I didn't even know who was a hooker. Like I was there for like less than 2 days. I was there for maybe 24 hours to like 48 hours, less than 2 days. Because we were there for 2 nights. So we went there, you know, with me and one of my friends who's Dominican. We went there, you know, my male friend dropped us off because he didn't want to stay. He's like, I'm just going to drop you guys, I'm going to leave. I'm like, why? He's like, you know, I don't want to be caught up I don't want to see this place. But he knew about it. So, you know, me and my friend, we stayed. And then we went to the beach, and it's like, I couldn't even tell who was who because maybe I didn't go to the right street. I know there's like a street where all the hookers are, but is that the main road where all the cars drive through? Because I really didn't see any prostitutes that I could point out. And I saw maybe like one or two people dressed sexy, but you can never tell because even me, I was wearing a bathing suit to the beach, right? And I'm sure people would thought, oh, you're wearing a bathing suit, your cleavage is showing. But my cleavage is showing because I'm wearing a bathing suit and I'm wearing like a see-through pants, so I'm going to the beach. You know, so that's why I couldn't really tell who's who, but I didn't see like people who look like prostitutes. And most of the time when I was there, I was at the beach and in the restaurants, and I went to Cabarete in Puerto Plata. So I didn't really like see Sosúa for what I had. I'm like, wait, I thought I was gonna go there and see all these like hookers all over the place, but honestly, I didn't see. Maybe I saw one or two girls that may look like the hookers, but I can't verify that. It's a matter of fact.
So as you spent time there and you got acquainted with the place, after a time, obviously it's going to, you're going to sort of like get wise to that idea of, okay, this is what's going on. As you're spending time there, what did you think then of the place?
So like I said, I've only been there once, and it's for less than 2 nights. So I spent like a day there. Yeah, so I can't really.
Okay, so you wasn't living right round the corner or anything. No. Okay.
I never leave there. So I was like, I was basically a tourist, like for 1 day, just out of curiosity to see for myself. So that's my first and last time in Sosúa. So I've only been there once. And then when I was there, I saw families, kids at the beach. Like I didn't see. Maybe maybe if I spent like more days there, like maybe 5 days, maybe I would have seen other stuff. But I was there for like a day, less than 2 days. So that's why, like when I was there, what I saw was more family-oriented stuff. But then also me, like so I didn't see anything that like. Even now, people are like, "Oh, why would you go to Sosúa?" Blah blah. And I'm like, honestly, after having been there. You have to maybe go to a certain spot to see hookers. Like when I was there, I didn't see or smell hookerish. I just smell families, the beach, people, just normal Dominican people or tourists. Like I didn't feel like I was in I didn't feel like I was in a hooker area. I really did not. But like I hear people say that you have to go to a certain spot to see them. And I guess I didn't go there to see them. So honestly, like right now.
So you was mostly at the beach. more than anything.
Beach, yeah, restaurants, you know, like honestly, I can tell right now, I don't even know if I saw a hooker or not. I really don't know. But maybe driving to the beach, I saw maybe one or two sexy girls. But then they could just be walking, wearing dressed nice, you know, and sexy, but they were not hookers. That's why I tell people, don't judge a place until you go there for yourself. You know, if you go there for one kind of thing, that might be all you see, right? But I didn't go there for that. I went there to see the area because I'm a traveler. I like to see different areas for what they are, and I don't have to judge places before I know it. So I didn't judge. So people are like, oh, why are you going there? Why are you going there, Valentina? You know, blah blah blah. You know, like my image. Like I don't worry about what people think. I don't worry about what people think about me. At the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. So I'm not easily influenced by people. Like nobody can influence me to do what I don't want to do. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know what you guys are saying. I don't think it makes me look bad. I know who I am. I'm not a hooker. I'm not an easygoing. I'm not in that industry. So I'm gonna go there myself and see what it is, you know. So that way, if somebody asks me, I can actually tell them no. So it's actually a family beach town, right? They have areas.
From what you've seen. Yeah,
from what I've seen, because I was not exposed to the other side of it, and so I can't speak on that, you know. Just like in DC. Just like in DC. DC used to have like 14th Street in DC. That used to be like the hooker area, right? And all the time I've been in DC, like I can't tell you how many hookers I've seen on that street. But it's like if you go there for that business, your eyes aren't gonna see that business because you tune to it, right? But whereas somebody like me, I'm just like, oh, I don't see, it's like, yeah. So that's the same thing. That every town has like maybe one of those areas where like if you're not part of that industry, you probably won't see. With open eyes, somebody has to point it at you, but like, that's a hooker, that's a hooker, that's a hooker, that's a hooker. I'm like, oh, I thought she was like an innocent, beautiful girl at the beach hanging out, you know?
So fast forward now, obviously you being in the YouTube sphere and part of the YouTube sphere,
right?
Passport, this acronym has come out, Passport Brothers.
Right.
Has been put on Front Street. I'm not gonna blame anyone in particular, but it's the topic of discussion right now on YouTube. The words being tainted, slanted. There's some people speaking out against it from other countries, talking about sex exploitation, sex trafficking. Few YouTubers have been brought up. You've also got YouTubers making videos and somewhat, I'm not going to say exposing, but they feel that they're exposing. Along with that, you have pedophilia also attached to that.
Right.
So my question to you is, you did a video, you did a video yesterday, which I did watch. I watched the video. There was a few key points that you definitely made, and there was some that I definitely disagreed with. You just correct me, yes, Big Super in a building, blessings, manners and respect, boy.
Hey, hi, Big Super.
My Jamaican brother in the building.
Big Super is Jamaican. I love Big Super.
I found out this the other day. Sorry, Big Soup, man. I got to blow you up, man. I found out this the other day. I was like, what? He was all speaking patois to me. I was like, hold on a minute. You kept that quiet. But anyway, salute to Big Super, man. Salute to Big Super, man.
Hi, Big Super. No, he's cool. I like Big Super. He makes me laugh every time. He's just a cool guy. I like his trolling. I know him, and I know he doesn't mean anything
good
bad.
Brother,
good brother. I like Big Super. Hi, Big Super. Yeah, I thought he was from Venezuela, like these Wells. They're cousins.
I thought they were cousins as well. Till I got corrected.
Oh. They're not real cousins. Oh man. That's funny.
Yeah, we know that, bro. But yeah, I watched the video yesterday, and there's some things that as I said, the Passport Brothers, they've been under heavy scrutiny. When I was traveling to DR, which is 6 years ago, there was no thing called Passport Brothers. It just didn't exist. We had a few YouTubers well, to be quite honest, there was like maybe 3 YouTubers that were doing content on DR that I knew of. One being Taylor Made Dreams,
Right.
you know, and I have to say Blanca Sosúa channel. You know, I have to keep it 100. You know, he's a Dutch guy that was doing content from he's from Holland or Netherlands. You know, we call it Holland, but he was doing content on DR. There was no one else that I can remember that was really doing content. There might have been a few scattered about. If I haven't mentioned your name, forgive me. But at the time, you know, they was prominent with the whole DR scene. There was no such thing as Passport Brothers, none at all.
Right.
And you know, over the years, more and more YouTubers have come. You know, we started to get the creep cams in. I foresaw what was going to happen, you know, because they say when a white man does something, he's responsible for himself. When a black person does something, he's responsible for his own nation. Not that I'm turning it into a color thing or anything like that, but I have to keep it 100, you know. So I foresaw when the crew cam started coming in, I said, here we go. You know, I knew. I'm not going to say it was the decline of Sosúa. I'm not going to say it because, you know, I've gone there and it's still buzzing, it's still bubbling. The only thing the brothers moan about is the prices of the women going up. Which brings me to this. You mentioned in your YouTube vlog yesterday that you feel that some women are forced into this way of life. And what made you come to that? Why do you feel that? Because this is the reason why I'm saying that. Because when it comes to the Passport Brothers, it's like they're being blamed for prostitution in these countries. I mean, it's not like a bunch of African Americans landed in Sosúa and thought, you know what? We've got a good idea. Let's start prostitution in this beach town. It was already there, you know, because the Europeans were enjoying it before the African. I mean, the stories that I've heard, especially speaking to a lot of elders that been traveling to Dominican. I mean, there's one English guy that I know. He's been traveling there since 1999, you know, and he said, look, you know, Sosúa was the Europeans. You only had like 1, 2, maybe 10, 20 Americans that used to go to Puerto Plata, because back then Puerto Plata was the place to go. It had all the nightclubs and everything, and you know, it just was about having a woman's company back then. There was, I'm not gonna say pay for play, we say free play. That's the word that I use. There was free play, not pay for play. So yeah, what makes you think that these women are forced into this lifestyle? Because like I said, it's not like the African Americans landed there and thought, oh, we're going to turn this into a prostitute town.
So, okay, so to answer that, I know in my video, I tried to kind of define what Passport Bros is, because like you say, it's a new term, but everybody who travels is kind of lumped into that one term. So, so there's no really distinction. But the reason why I say, so I say that because I said, I'm not going to blame all women who are prostitutes or who do sex work. I can't blame all of them, but because some of them are, I believe, are forced into it. Not all of them, some of them are doing freely. So I just want to be clear that only some of them, I believe, are forced into it. Because, for example, the Dominican culture is very, I believe it's very sexual. I feel like kids are exposed to sex from a very young age, right? And I feel like, and I've heard of this before, that you have some husbands, some boyfriends, telling their women to go work, so the family can eat.
Okay, so you're more referring to the papi chulos that send their girlfriends out to work and bring back the money, is what you're
the papi chulos, and also the parents. Some parents, the mother was a sex worker, and it's like goes to the daughter when she retires. It's like a family business, But those kids, or when the kids are grown up, they're being groomed for that kind of lifestyle, right? But it's like, and the fathers and husbands are also like looking at them. Hey, you can make money for the family, to eat. So you go, So even if the mother or the daughter doesn't want to do it, she's being forced into that because it's kind of like a family business. It's like you have to feed the family. So not everybody who does it is doing it because, I just don't feel like working today, so I'm just gonna go and sell my body. That's why I said in my video, I'm not gonna sit and blame every woman who's doing it, because some women don't have other means to make an income, right? So you either starve or you go out there and do what you gotta do. But some women, the women who have opportunities to do other jobs and they refuse to, yeah, those I don't respect. I can judge them. But the other women, I'm like, especially kids who are groomed. Hey, your mama did it. You gotta do it too. Go. Your dad is making you go and do it. Your boyfriend is dragging you to go and do it. You know, even if you're pregnant. So that they are being forced. Like, you know, I cannot sit and judge them because some of them definitely don't want to do it, but they have to do it. So that's what I'm talking about. I mean those, not all of them.
That's why I wanted you to elaborate on it. You know, but go ahead. That's why I wanted you to elaborate on it. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying they're being forced by the clients. I'm saying more like by even family members, even parents. You know, and I feel like even with OnlyFans, you have fathers and mothers out there really like putting their kids on OnlyFans for this sick men to, you know, and I mean it's like a sick world where parents actually exploit their kids. Even like parents like selling out their kids, like, hey, go with that old man, nasty old man. You like, how old are you? 15, 16, 17? Be with him because at least he'll give us money. That child is being forced to go and be this man's girlfriend or side chick or whatever, just so the family can eat, right? But that girl doesn't have a choice. You know, I can't sit there and judge her like, oh, look at you, nice walking down the street. No, because I don't know her story, right? I'm from a different area. Maybe not. Thank God I had an opportunity to get an education and go to school and have a master's degree. But I'm not gonna sit there in my high seat and judge every woman who's out there doing this, because some women don't have a choice, but some do, but some don't. So that's what I'm saying. Some women are forced into it. And for those who are forced into it, you know, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. So
let me just big up some brothers. Yeah, Big Super dropped the link in the description. Salute to my brother Brown Liquor Baron, bro. You know, you have the NYC King, bless up. See, Brown Liquor Baron, man. Look, Brown Liquor. You can take back your £10. That's just wrong. Come on, why did you go there? What? This guy. Sorry, I'm a Tottenham supporter, and he knows I hate Arsenal. And we haven't been doing well. But listen, man, salute to my brother from another mother, man. Salute, manners and respect. Go to Brown Liquor Baron's channel. I know you guys ain't hearing me. Go to Brown Liquor Baron's channel. Go and check out his old content. Check out his new content. Like, share, and subscribe, yeah? Don't sleep on that, brother, man. He knows raw truth. Salute to Omega Jackson. Salute to you, bro. And Brown Liquor Baron getting in the building. Anyway, continue.
Now I say you're an Arsenal fan?
No, I'm a Tottenham fan.
Oh, okay. I see.
I'm a Tottenham fan, so he's winding me up. He's just got to do that. He's got to send me I don't even want to take his £10 now. I'm in my feelings now. Brown Liquor, man, I'm in my feelings now. Why you got to do that? Tottenham haven't been doing well, right? So I'm really in my feelings. So,
do they ever do well? Yes, yeah.
We do, but we've been doing so. Listen, to not even get into it, we're beating Man City 2-0 in the first half. We're doing great. We're holding the ball. By the second half, they scored 4 times.
Oh man!
And it looks like we're going to lose our manager, Conte. They just need to put their hands in their pocket and start signing players. I see you, Big Soup's going to bring you on in a sec. Just hold on for me, bud. Yeah, so actually, let me just bring him on anyway. Sod it. I don't want to keep him in the background, man.
Big Soup.
So yeah, you know, so I've been in my feelings, man. I've been in my feelings. So my team ain't been doing well. So yes, Big Super in the building, manners and respect, broski. Thank you for coming in again and supporting the channel, man. You know, it's blessings as always, my bro.
What's up, African Dominican? Okay, what's up, baby? I just said, I have a few questions, Afro Dominican. All right, let's talk about the exploitation in DR, right? Now, I've seen the videos. Have you seen any of these supposedly passport bro videos exploiting these females?
Before we get there, because I was actually gonna come on to that. I wanted her to define in her own way what a passport brother is, her definition.
Okay. So to me, just like I said in my video, there are 2 sides to these men who travel. You know, it's like a coin. One coin is a tail and the other side is a head. So to me, passport brothers, they are the tail. All right? They are, and then the brothers with the passport or men, black men who travel, they are the head. So passport bros to me are like these immature men, you know, who want to go out and broadcast their business to the whole world. Because like I said, I was raised around men who travel, black men who travel. My dad is a diplomat. All his friends are diplomats. And I never once heard about why they travel for business, but I'm sure some of them didn't always travel for business, but I never heard any dirt on what they do, or I never heard about any women issues, right? So the first time I heard about sex tourism was actually when I came on YouTube and I found out about, black men who travel, and I'm like, oh, they do that? Oh, okay. But my thing is like, passport bros are the ones who are making noise about it. They're the manosphere who go out there and just, they're proud of what they're doing, telling the whole world about it. Whereas brothers with a passport, those are the good guys in my books. They are the head and not the tail. They keep their stuff on a hush hush. They go to this country, they travel, they go on tourist attractions, they go to the beach, they do their business with women, but you don't hear about it. And they invest as well, buy property and do business. So to me, those are brothers with a passport or the head. They're good guys, but the bad guys to me, they're the passport bros, because those are the childish ones who want to paint to make everybody look like they're all doing the same thing, and it's like they're not dignified in their travels, whereas the other side is dignified. So to me, it's like they're the bad side of traveling men, and then the other side is the good side. So to me, passport bros and brothers with a passport are two different things. But brothers with a passport are like black men who travel. They are traveling men. They're like people like my dad, who travel for business to represent their community, their race, their families in a dignified way. Whatever else they do, I don't know about it, so I can't really speak on it, right? But passport bros, those are like the bad side. They go out there and like exploit women and children, abuse people, do all this kind of craziness, and then boast about it, and then just use it for whatever. But so to me, that's a difference. It's like a good guy versus a bad guy. A tail versus a head. And I think a lot of passport bros, to me, they're like narcissists. To me, they have a lot of mental health issues. To me, the passport bros, of course, the tail. I feel like they're narcissists. They have a lot of mental health issues. But then the good guys, and if you can even call out some of the people, and I can tell you what I think they are. I can tell you that.
No, we won't do that with this. Okay. But I have to say, I do agree with what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying. But Big Super, go ahead with your question, bro.
Yeah. You know what? Let me change that. I want to say, if you watch these videos, so you've been to the Dominican Republic, is that correct? African Dominican?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You've been to Sosúa, I assume.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Yeah, I know you just came in. Yeah, so I was telling Big Jay that I went to Sosúa once. My year is 2022. Yeah, last year. That's when I went for the first time and last time.
All right. Now, in Sosúa, have you experienced seeing exploitation? Have you witnessed it with your own eyes, exploitation?
No, I have not. And I was telling Big J earlier before he came in that when I went to Sosúa, I was there for like less than 2 nights, like maybe like a little over 24 hours. And when I was there, I didn't see, to me, I didn't see a single hooker. Maybe it's because I wasn't looking and I didn't go to the right spot. But all I saw was a beach town with family, people just like at the beach, hanging out and just nice family fun. That's all I saw and witnessed and experienced. I didn't witness any hookerish. So that's why I said Big J that to me, Sosúa is to me, my experience there was more like family fun, beach town. I can take my kids there. I didn't see any red light districts. I don't even know where that's located.
Okay. Well, I've been to Sosúa plenty of times. I've seen the videos on Sosúa plenty of times. And they say the fellas that travel are exploiting these females or taking advantage of these females. I got an iPhone 11. If you go to Sosúa right now, you will see a lot of these females you say brothers are taking advantage of with iPhone 13s, gold chains,
No, she didn't say that. She said
no,
the
I'm
puppy
just,
chew. Sorry.
yeah, I'm just speaking on,
Oh, sorry. Yes,
I'm just
my
speaking
bad.
on the exploitation that,
Right.
the narrative that, I'm just speaking on the narrative that's going
Oh,
around.
my bad.
We're taking, guys that are traveling, to participate in adult activities are exploiting the people of these countries. But my thing is, if you're being exploited, if they're being exploited, then why am I? If you go to DR, most of these people haven't been to Sosúa. A lot of these people haven't been to Sosúa. They just see videos and take it up on themselves to be like, okay, they're exploiting them. The only reason why they're doing what they're doing is to feed their kids, is to take care of their family and all that stuff, which it could be true. But it. But from my traveling and my experience of going down there, like I said, I've seen girls with better fucking phones than better phones than I have. I've seen them with wearing all Jordans, gold chain. Some even have their own cars. Some even own their own villa. Some even own, live in their own condos. And I'm still trying to find the exploitation. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can come up here and explain to me where they saw the exploitation. Because every one of these YouTube videos I've seen, if you look in their wrists, there's an Apple Watch. Look on their phones while they, I guess, negotiating or passing numbers. Their phone is iPhone 13, nothing less. Nothing less. You don't see them with a raggedy phone or no broken up cheap crap or anything like that. And another thing, look at their hair. That's not their natural hair. Those hair. If you go to DR right now with, let's say, a 24-inch Indian hair, because one of the girls told me the Indian hairs are the better hair, not the Brazilian hair. And this, you see, I've learned something. A working girl told me the Indian hair is way more better than the Brazilian hair. Because all this time I used to say Brazilian hair is better.
Yeah,
But
hair is supposed to be better.
yeah, but from what the working girl told me, the Indian hair is better. And go online and look up how much the Indian hair costs. Say a 24-inch Indian hair. That's a lot of money right there. And she would rather be with you for that time for the hair. She don't even want the money. She want the hair. So where is the exploitation?
So can I answer that? Can I answer that? Okay, so like I said, I didn't say any exploitation, but based on what I'm hearing on these YouTube streets, right? Exploitation, I think they mean like underpaying these girls for a service. That's what I think I keep hearing, right? And some of these girls may be able to afford expensive watches and hair and whatnot, but some of those girls also have other means like OnlyFans accounts, so they make money other ways, right? So they might be able to get cheap sex at the beach for under the price of I think I don't know how much the current price is, but I think some people are saying that they should get paid more money, but I don't know what more money means, but because sometimes the average price for a regular job is what I don't know what the minimum wage is, but I think people are saying that because the passport bros or whoever is sleeping with them, they're not paying them a fair wage. I don't know what that means, right? But also these girls, I'm sure they have multiple partners, who are sending them money. So of course they're not. Maybe I don't think a lot of them are starving, because I feel like they make their good money, and then they have a low living situation. I mean, low cost of living. They're not it's not like it's expensive for them to live. They live with their parents or their family members, so they have a very low cost of living. So I'm sure whatever money they make from sex work and OnlyFans and Tinder, whatever they get their money from, it kind of makes them look like they are doing well financially.
Okay.
But not all of them though. Some of them, I think, based on how pretty you are, if you have a good enough BBL, or if you're pretty on the outside, but some of the girls may not be as pretty. They just wanna feed their family, but they're not like pretty. I'm sure those girls like get taken advantage of. Maybe a guy would be like, okay, so.
I got
before
one more.
anybody goes, hold on. Before anybody goes, let me just let everybody know in the chat. My guest, African Dominican, is not here defending nothing. If I see any abuse towards her, right, in the comment section, I am going to block you, right? So I'm just letting people know that now. Do not come on this channel and start abusing her, right? Because she's not here to defend anything. She's just giving her opinion, right?
Thank
so
you
I'm
so
not
much.
having any of it, right? So if I hear anybody, if I see any of that, you're being blocked straight away. I'm going to put you on the 300 seconds or whatever it is, timeout, then you're blocked. Anyway, continue, African Dominican.
Right. So let me just say one thing also, like everybody who's listening, if you just came in, please go back when it's over and watch from the beginning and see how I ended up being here talking about this. I'm not defending anything at all. I'm giving my opinion from different angles. And I also have a video up on my channel which talks about this from different angles. I'm not defending anything. Big Soup, I think you wanted to say something.
Yeah. So back to the exploitation. One more thing. Another thing that you will witness in the Dominican Republic, if anybody ever been there, is if you go to the Western Union or the Expresso, you see a lot of females lining up. That's because the line is more crazier than if you, let's say the new Jordan drop. The line is more crazier than that. And these are supposed to be being exploited, but yet still the guys that's in the States or in other countries, London, England, Canada, they're all Western Union and money. I believe the term for them is Western Union poppies. Tell me where the exploitation is in that. And like Dominican Republic, like African Dominican said, she haven't seen it, she just heard it from multiple channels. So this is where I'm coming at you. This is where I'm coming at these people that's attacking black men that travel. I'm not defending no passport bros, because I don't know what the fuck is a passport. Excuse me. I don't know what is a passport bro. I've never been a passport bro. I don't even like the term bro. I hate the word. That's a white boy word to my opinion. But anyway, I'm not defending them. I'm just, I just see a lot of people talking and a lot of people sharing their opinion, which there's nothing wrong with that. The fact of the matter is, none of them haven't traveled there. None of them haven't traveled and experienced to where they could come back and talk logically or speak logically in it. And I'm not saying that exploitation does not happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, because if exploitation have been going on, trust me, the people who are exploiting people, they're not going to be in here. You're not going to know about them. And the reason why you're not going to know about them is because, not only they're a small community to them, they don't want to be seen. They don't want to show their face. They don't want to document it and broadcast it to everyone, because they know what they're doing is wrong, and they know what they're doing is illegal, and they know they will go to jail for it. So you won't see them coming out and showing exploitation. So Richie, rolling tape, and guys like rolling tape, and I'm just using rolling tape, and everybody else, you might see them in videos with girls, but where is the exploitation you are talking about?
Big Soup, hold on, Big Soup. Sorry. Oh God, sorry. I really don't want to do. Sorry, Big Soup. Just chill for a minute. One minute.
And I get.
Hold on. Sorry, people. I knew this was gonna happen. Sorry, because obviously no one doesn't know what's going on. I knew this was gonna happen. Hold on. People are just so predictable. Flip, Mr. Flip Flop, we spoke on the phone today. I said I will meet you in person to discuss the topic of the matter face to face as men. You posted a silly comment on your community page, which I know, and I knew you was gonna come here and say something stupid. So yet again, just call me on my phone when the show's done and get what you need to get off your chest. I'm not taking this to YouTube. I told you on the voice notes. You've come here with disrespect to mash up my panel. Don't do that. I do not come on your panel to mash up your thing. Don't do that, bro. I knew you was gonna do it. You're too predictable. I contacted you today and you told me have a good panel. You said have a good live. You said no beef. Now you're posting that up. This is YouTube attention. I'm done with that bullshit. I said to you, we will meet face to face and talk as men. I don't want to do this on YouTube. I knew this was going to happen. Go ahead. I'm just tired of this bullshit, man. Serious. On some real shit. I'm tired of this bullshit. I spoke to you today on the phone. Like, you talk about I lost a homie for this whack ass life. I knew you was going to do this. I knew you was going to do this. Now you're bringing it to YouTube. Why? I spoke to you today. Don't do this, man. Don't do it. Let me have my live. Let me have my time. You got 13K subscribers. You good. Let me have my time. Don't come in and mash up my live, bro. Don't do that. Don't come in there and disrespect me. Serious. On some real shit. Don't come in there and disrespect me, bro. I know you want the YouTube attention, but I'm done with all of that YouTube attention. That's why we spoke on the phone and you told me have a good live. And now you're making comments like that. Grow up, man. On some real shit. Grow up, bro. Go ahead, man. Sorry, I'm triggered. Go ahead. Sorry, people.
Oh, man. I'm stay out of that. Anyway, like I was saying, so yeah, when I see guys like rolling tape and shit, yeah, you know, the videos, you know what I mean, you can make jokes on them and all that other shit and all that, but to label somebody exploiting and taking advantage, that's a misconception that is just wrong and uncalled for, you know. And the attacks that he got, and the attacks that a lot of these guys that come up and do their videos or whatnot, I find it ridiculous because nobody is talking about, you know, the females in America that jump some plane and travel all the way to Dubai to get defecated on just so they could get a bag, a Chanel bag or a Birkin bag and come back home. Right. You know what I mean? There is a group, even though it's a small group, there's a group of females in the States, I'm pretty sure all over the other countries, Canada, London, England, all these places that are traveling to Dubai to go get their bag, just to have some doodle put on them by wealthy Arab men. So is the issue the fact that these guys are not wealthy and living a wealthy lifestyle and enjoying themselves, and the fact that, you know, you and these guys are on the same level financially, but yet still they're having more fun and you can't understand how to have fun like that?
So, Mr. Big Soup, can I ask you a question? So when people say exploiting these girls, are they talking in terms of payments, or how do you understand that to mean?
See, that's the thing. They don't even know what type of exploiting it is, whether it's through payment or whether it's because of the economic structure in the country, you know, or whether it's the look of a girl, or there's so many things that they don't know what the real definition of exploitation is. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the real definition of exploitation. What they don't agree with, they're gonna label it something that is not the definition of that. You know,
Okay.
because because let me to answer your question. If let's say it's payment, if if you offer me a service, let's say let's say I'm at your restaurant, right? And you're selling you're selling, let's say, tacos. I'm just going with tacos. You're charging $4 a taco. I tell you, I want to buy the taco for $2.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have a lot of business coming in. you know. So it's up to you to say, I will take the $2 or I won't take the $2. It's up to me to say, well, I could pay the $2 or not pay the $2. But if we both agree on something, but if we both agree on a price, then how is it exploitation? You got what you want, and I got what I want.
Okay, that's what you're saying. But do you also believe that there are men out there who do actually exploit these women, or you don't think it happens at all?
I believe, yes, I do believe, and I say it loud and clear. Yes, I do believe there are guys that's exploiting these women.
Mm-hmm.
Certain women. There are guys that are exploiting them, and when I say exploiting them, you know, they will make sexual videos and sell it. Like, there are guys that actually have porn sites that go to these countries and make these videos with these females and put it on their porn sites and make a lot of money. I've actually talked to one of these girls that been on one of these porn sites. I've actually talked to them, and she told me the guy gave her like $100, but yet this same dude made thousands thousands of dollars, putting it on the porn site. Tens and twenties and thousands of dollars, and that to me is exploitation. And what's another exploitation that I've seen? Exploitation. I've seen people make videos saying that they want to help. They want to help the poor community in some of these countries. And when they get there, they get all these donations, but the donation doesn't add up to the to supporting the people that they say they support.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
that is exploitation.
Right. No, thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, because just like you, I do agree. There are women out there who have been exploited, but also like you said, not all of them are being exploited. And it's unfortunate because I feel like some women, yeah, they'll take what they can get as far as payment because they're trying to maybe eat. But I don't agree with, of course, that industry. But at the same time, like I said earlier in this life, I'm not gonna sit here and judge every woman for what they do because I don't know their story. But at the same time, also, some of these passport bros do take advantage of these women's position in society. Like I think I heard somebody say that passport bros are like in the new white supremacists when they travel to other countries because they have the American dollars, they have the American passport, so they feel high and mighty. that they are the prize and these women have to bow down to them. So I know there are those who exploit their position, to abuse these men and women and children. Not all of them, like you said, but we have to acknowledge that some of them are out there who are doing these horrible things. And I'm glad you did speak on that and you called it out. And I just feel like people like passport brothers with passport, like good guys like you, Soup. If you guys speak up more on this and expose these bad guys that tell these other guys on the other side, people will get a better understanding of what this travel movement is about. It's about enlightenment, investing, building, having your best life. It's not about taking advantage of people. Like me, I'm a world traveler and I grew up around men who travel, black men who travel, but I don't support the other side of this industry where they take advantage of children, women in third world countries just because they feel like they are the American dollars, American passport, they are the new white supremacists because they think they're better than everybody. So those I don't support. But I know there are good guys on the other side who actually are not even doing half of that stuff. So, and I'm glad you did clarify that. Thank you.
And also, I also want to talk about the states as well. This happens as far as the men is the prize because we have the money, and we have the passport. But that also to me is it, that also to me is wrong as well because in the states here, the females, if you go to any club in the state, the
Mm-hmm.
guys that's popping the bottles, the guys that's in VIP, you notice all the females levitate over there. You're gonna see them all lined up on the bars and shit, trying to get into VIP. And then
Mm-hmm.
the guys in the VIP could pick and choose which females they could come up and drink the bottles with. You know, so that happens in the states as well. And I've seen females who make more money than men. Matter of fact, there was an interview not too long ago with Gabrielle Union. She said she was making more money than her husband. So she had the
Mm-hmm.
right to go and sleep with other men. And he can't say nothing because why? She's the breadwinner. So, the double standards that I'm hearing and that I'm seeing is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because, yes, the wealthy will always take advantage. I wouldn't say take advantage, but use their wealth to get what they want. Where those who are not wealthy have to use what they have to get what they need. Want and needs are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, and and that's where everything comes into play. Where you know people travel, because if you're traveling from a country with the mass wealth,
Mm-hmm.
you want and you go to, let's say, the country where your money goes further. You're gonna want the best. You're gonna want to spend your money on the best. You want to eat at the best restaurant. You want to stay in the best hotel. You want to rent the best car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what you want. But the people that you're buying these things from, this is what they need. They need you to buy it.
Right.
They don't want you to buy it. They need you to buy it. So
Yeah.
that's why they advertise it. That's where the advertisement comes from. That's why these girls, like, let's say we're talking about the girls. You know, do they want you to buy it? No. Do they want you to buy their company? No, they don't want you to buy it. They need you to buy their company.
You know, and- yeah.
And
Yeah.
do the guys want to buy their company? Yeah, they want to buy their company. Where is the exploitation? I ask you in that. The females in these countries want you to buy their service. That's why they do their hair. That's why they do their makeup because they want you to be attracted to them. They want you to want them.
Okay. And I feel like listening to the other side. I think listen to like people like Kesselman, Casanova, and that side. I'm like I don't have any factions in this YouTube streets. I don't belong to any group. I go to all the groups and I listen to what them talk, and some everybody makes good points. And I feel like when people speak about exploitation, I feel like they're talking more about the wages thing, but you do make some valid points. Me personally, I don't agree with this whole thing. I've made myself clear on my video, but I'm glad you're actually even just speaking about it from that angle. Yeah, because everybody, I think they have their own definition of what exploitation means. Some women are providing a service because they are business and they don't want their business to be hurt, so they want you to partake in their business. But I feel like some men can afford their business at a fair price, but they might undercut them, or they might. It depends. Like I say, it also looks at everything. Not every woman who's doing this one thing.
Before anybody else goes, sorry, I just got to read out some of these chats. Manners and respect, people. Don't forget what you said, African-Dominican. This woman is a friend of mine. That's who she is. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. No disrespect in the chat for this woman. Right? No disrespect. She's not defending anything. She's not talking up. She's giving her opinion. If you go back to the beginning of this live, it self-explains what direction she's coming from. Okay, so don't think she's on here defending anything. So I'm just going to make that clear.
And I have a video. On my channel which clarifies my position on this whole thing.
There you go. She has a video on her channel, so go to her channel right now and you see her position on it. Let me just read out some of these. They exploit themselves. If we don't travel, they'll be making less money servicing locals. Please believe they don't pay. Well, that's true. Are celebrities wrong when they come to the city? Smash my girl. Glenn Ball. Respect to Glenn Ball. Big up, always supporter of the channel. Why do you have such a strong opinion? I'm sure that's what he says about passport bros. They are way more white. Okay, I see what he's saying. Right, okay, we're definitely going to get to that, Glenn Ball. She doesn't have an opinion. She's just giving her opinion. Yeah, she's not anti-passport bros. What she's saying, so let me just make it clear for people that I just stepped into the room. What she's saying, she don't have a problem with brothers that are traveling with passport. She hasn't got a problem with that. What they do is what they do. The problem that she got is the bad ones, the bad apples. She's got a problem with the bad apples that are doing dumb, stupid shit. That's the problem she's got. Not with brothers. She doesn't care if brothers are gone. She's been to Sosúa. She's been around the whole YouTube sphere. So, and also, she knows what's going on.
Right. And also from the beginning, I mentioned that I was raised in a traveling family. My dad is an ambassador, a diplomat. So I respect black men who travel. I grew up around black men who travel. So I have nothing against that. So watch from the beginning so you can know my position. Don't judge me without knowing what I said at the beginning. I have nothing against black men who travel. I have everything against black men who travel to abuse women and children in other countries. That's my position.
Right. That's her position. So, Big Soup, someone, I don't know, actually, I think someone mentioned, actually, it was Glenn Ball. I'm going to touch on, oh shit, what the hell have I done now? I'm always doing some stupid shit. Sorry. Glenn Ball mentioned something in the chat, and shout out to Glenn Ball, good friend of mine. Big yourself up, Glenn Ball. Let me just read this one. Chris Brown comes, okay, we'll just put that up. I've been doing some, because, I'm going to be straight up and down with people. When this whole no, wasn't saying free mixtape, wasn't saying that you were disrespecting. No. I was just simply saying that there has been some funny comments, and I'm not gonna allow that. She's my guest. I'm not gonna allow her to be abused in any way. That's what I'm saying. You can ask your 3 questions, and do what you need, but no abuse, and that's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying you've done it.
Thank you, Big J.
No problem. So Glenn Ball posed a question. I've got to find his question actually. Glenn Ball, let me get big up Glenn Ball still. Right, so big up Glenn Ball. So I wanted to touch on this. I had the disposition where I was like, I've had a lot of brothers talk about, as soon as the black brothers came to Sosúa, they started turning on the camera, and then it messed up the game there. And, you know, if it wasn't for them, the prices wouldn't be going up. You know, you hear so much, Valentina and Soup. And I was one of them. I was like, yeah, you know, they've come and messed up the game for the other brothers and that. You know, I was one of them saying that until I done some research. Yes, I done some research, ladies and gentlemen. And big up to the 42 people in the room. Please, people, look, my Cash App is pinned to the top. I'm not asking anybody to donate, but feel free to donate. But please, people, this is what I am actually asking you. And it doesn't, and I keep on repeating it doesn't cost you 2.4 seconds. Just smash the like button. It helps the channel. That's all I ask. Just right now, just quickly, that's it. 0.0 second, just smash that like button. Yeah, it helps my channel on some real shit. It helps my channel. Smash the like button, people, please. Yeah, manners and respect, people. So I've been doing my research. And as I said, I was one of them that was, you know, saying, oh, brothers, I messed up the game and tear. Not for me, but for brothers that are going over there paying $200 and stuff like that. Oh, you hear prices. I done some research today. And upon my research, there's a lot of white men that are doing, I'm not going to say they're not doing creep cams. I'm not going to say that, but they are talking about sex tourism in a very open way. I mean, I'm going to give you some names, people. So big up the 40 people in the room. Please smash that like button. So, you know, I came across a YouTuber called Cheap Charlie Chronicles. I came across a white brother named Jeffrey Peterson, which actually owns the Marju Bar in Thailand. I came across another guy called Buzzin' in Pattaya, another guy called Land of Smiles, another guy called Edward Sweeney, Max Reacts. You know, he's actually Spanish, actually. Johnny, there is something happening? And a guy called Jay Streezy, he actually interviews ladyboys, believe it or not. So there's a lot of Caucasian brothers that are actually talking about sex tourism openly. But I just feel they're openly, literally, if you just I've done my research.
I've seen
it's crazy.
I've seen, and they're on. If you do type in Thailand, you're gonna see a list of these guys walking around.
Soup.
And they're gonna show you the bars and the girls and the prices.
Yeah.
They even tell you the prices and what to pay.
The prices. Yeah.
So you don't mess it up.
So you don't mess it up.
For
So this thing, my question to Soup and you as well, Valentina, is okay. The Passport Bros is making noise right now, and I'm still, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I agree with you, Valentina. There is some brothers that are not behaving and, you know, messing up. But as soon as the brothers get put on French Street, you got things like sex trafficking attached to them. Like, if we look up what sex trafficking means, and we're not going to go to Webster's dictionary, but just to give you a synopsis of what it is, it's taking someone from another country to another country and exploiting them for sex. None of these brothers are doing that. They just go into the country and doing pay for play. But I just feel that all of these little attachments are starting to attach themselves onto the Passport Brothers, which I think is wrong. Okay, if we're going to penalize them, penalize the ones for bad behavior. I totally agree. Penalize them. Tell them about their rights. Say, yo, you can't be doing it. Yeah.
And Jay, also to add to the exploitation, that when you traffic, sex trafficking, when you traffic sex trafficking, these ladies don't get paid. They don't get paid at all. Their family don't benefit from it. They don't benefit from it. Matter of fact, they're used until there's nothing left. Mm-hmm. And then they have to go back to where they come from they are not even, they won't even pay to send them back to where they come from. They just leave them and go get another one. And then that same person that was trafficked, she's been in that traumatic experience so long that it becomes a norm for them. And now they have to go on the streets and you see that type of stuff. This is not something that was made by choice. So I want to know which one of these passport bros have enough money to take one of these females from their country, bring them back to the States, or bring them back to another country. Don't pay them, force them to perform acts with men for money. And if they try to run or get away, beat them or bring bodily harm to them or threats.
Okay, can I add? I guess for my like I said, I don't know too much.
Go ahead.
I don't know too much about that. I know you said none of the passport bros do this. I know, but I know we cannot really speak for certain that the bad ones are not partaking in this sex trafficking. Because from watching movies, right? Like you don't have to manually be part of sex trafficking. You can make recommendations. You can talk to a girl in one country, like trick her to go with somebody, or you can kind of like lead her that way, or hook somebody. You can hook up a sex trafficker with a girl, right? So if a passport bro, a baron, he doesn't have to do the actual work. He just has to find the girl and then put her in the network, and then somebody will pick her up and do everything else, right? So if you're doing that, if you're making a connection, you say it's guilty, right?
Go ahead.
I gotta agree with
that. Yeah, so I'm saying like even if you don't actually do the actual sex trafficking from point A to point B, if you played any role in it, whether you hooked up the trafficker or whatever you did, you're just as guilty and you are a sex trafficker.
Do you think, Valentina, do you think that passport bros are getting a raw deal? Do you think they're getting a raw deal? Because like I said, I've just mentioned, and that's just a little fraction of the YouTubers that I mentioned, the European, well, not European, some of them are from New Zealand, some of them are from Australia, do you think that passport bros, because, we get these things like, actually, let me just read out some of the chat. Sorry, people, let me just read out some of because we're getting to a valid point. Let me just read out some of this chat. Angry bus driver said it's only exploitation when black men enjoy themselves. I do agree with that to a certain degree. I do agree with that. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. Okay, we're gonna get, because he did put something. Diplomats do too, just not talked about in secret. Okay, I don't get why certain groups try to bring each other down, crab in the bucket mentality. Okay, not necessarily best but comfortable lifestyle. Angry bus driver said those women need us more than we need them. We do them favors traveling to their country. We should be praised instead of being okay. And New Free said, no disrespect, Big J. I just started the stream when she started talking. Okay, yeah. If you go back, New Free mixtape, you will see. No, you read that one already. Yeah. Oh, did I read that? Oh, okay. I read that one already. I must be. Wait, Jesus Christ, I'm way behind. Gee whiz. Yeah. Okay, let me get through this. Same thing with Dominican YouTube. They hate seeing us travel over there, but they have no smoke for the Europeans. I do agree. What you call decombust. Angry bus driver said, what I said, nobody talks.
Angry bus driver.
Agree with it. Oh, no, let me just get through this because there's so much. There's another white. Okay, Glenn Ball says that's not how sex trafficking work. Digital Logic, salute to you, bro. Big J, really enjoying the conversation. Salute to you. I don't agree with the passport bros, but even a blind man can see the slander. I agree with Tony Hernandez there. Salute to Old Country Boy. For the $1.99 super chat. It's really it is really exploitation if legal in this country. Okay. Glenn Ball says, why doesn't she have that same energy towards the white European guys that are doing the same exact thing being on her page? I don't see any videos talking about white guys. What? No, Glenn Ball, I have to correct you there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Soup. I have to correct you there, Glenn Ball. She's not talking about, right? She's not, let me just make this clear to the people in the comment section. She's not here to dispel brothers that are just traveling for sex. She doesn't care about that. She's saying the ones that are putting it on Front Street, that it's not a good look. So this is what we're conversating about. We're like, well, the Europeans are doing it and they don't, and like Glenn Bull says that, and I agree, I see what you're saying, Glenn Bull. They don't get the same energy. And I think, and which leads me on to this. I think the reason why they don't get the same energy, because right now there's a whole thing of passport brothers talking about black women. Now, I personally haven't seen a panel 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours long. Now, if there is one, and I keep on saying it, if there is one,
keep in mind,
someone send me the link.
Not individual.
Exactly.
Panel with a whole bunch of people on there.
Thank you. Just
because when you say you haven't seen a link with a panel with no the panel just go out the window and they just choose the individual. I've seen video, but that's an individual. That's not a panel. See, this is a panel. You got more than one people on it. Exactly. And
another thing to add on to what you're saying is it's a passing comment. It's not even a whole talk. They will make a passing comment like, oh well, I prefer the women in Thailand to America because I don't get on with African American sisters or whatever the case. They will make a passing comment. They won't dedicate a whole 4 hours to talking about African American women in a derogatory way. I haven't seen it.
Can I add to that?
Go ahead.
Me as being a woman and a black woman, I know I'm not African American. Well, I'm African American, but I'm not Black American. But I've been on panels where I've actually really heard. I know you said they're talking about them in passing, right? But they're still talking about black women in not being good enough for whatever reason. They're not submissive. They're not this. They got college degrees. So even if just in passing, I've heard a lot of them in these panels. Because you guys are do go to the panels. I heard a lot of them bashing black women. Yeah, they might not spend 8 hours, but they're still bashing them. Whether it's like 1 minute here, 2 minutes there, I still feel like they're bashing them, and it shouldn't be discounted. There are passport brothers out there who go out there bashing black women. Is a thing. It might not be an 8 hour long stream, but they're still doing it.
I'm glad that you said that. So Valentina.
Hold
on, because this is gonna get. I can't miss this point. Because I'm glad that she said that. You being an African woman, and in Africa, the women are traditional. Are they not?
Say that again. The women are what?
Right.
So you cut off.
The women in Africa. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so the women in Africa. They are traditional women, are they not? They cook, clean, look after their man, yeah? I always say that's an African tradition. That comes from Africa. It's an African tradition. A woman that looks after a man, the man goes out, earns the money, whatever. It's a tradition that was in Africa. It came out of Africa. You go to Nigeria, you go to Zimbabwe, it's across the board. That's a woman. So where the Dominicans have kept that foundation there, they've kept that African culture where the woman does look after the man. I feel in England and in America, it got lost somewhere. And I think when these brothers go over to Africa or go over to some of these Latin countries, they're getting that ancient African tradition of a woman looking after their man. Once they get a taste of that, they come back to America, go back to Europe, go back to England, and they're thinking, hold on a minute, what the hell is going on? Listen, I've got a load of African friends, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Ghana, you name it, and Gambia. They say the women look after the men. Even where you're from, Namibia, I've got friends from Namibia.
Yeah.
I've had friends telling me, Jay, come to Namibia. I've got a wife for you, waiting for you. So what? And this is what I'm saying. So yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So no, I agree with you. I don't know if it's an African thing per se, but I feel like it's a culture. Like it's
very true.
It's a non-Western cultural thing. Like even if you go to Asia, you go to South America, like that's like the foundation of being a woman. Like with me, as a woman, when I came on these YouTube streets, to me this is the norm. Like treating your man like he's a king, to me that's normal. That's like part of like being a woman.
Glad you said that. You see people? Hearing this?
It's like when we are raised as kids from a young child, you are groomed to be a wife, right? You have to cook, you have to clean. Like there's no African who doesn't know how to cook and clean. That's like if you don't have to cook and clean and you're an African, you bring a shame to your parents because who's gonna wanna be your wife, your girlfriend? So it's like culture. It's our culture, and it's like we're groomed, and that's how women are supposed to be like world doers. I'm not a feminist, but I'm a feminine woman. You as a woman, your role is to treat your man like a king, right? But also a man, your role is to love your woman. I feel like if you love your woman, she can treat you like a king. If her mind is in the right place, she'll have no problem laying the carpet out for you and treat you like you are her king and she's your queen. That's the natural order of how it's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. One minute, Big Soup. 1 minute, I've got to read out these super chats before you go. 1 minute, I've got to read them. So salute to Old Country for the $1.99. I probably read that out before. Yes. Salute to Old Country Boy again for the $4.99. Well, $5 super chat. It's too late. I agree. But the stigma is already out. We need to mass report on the slandering and patron-only content moving forward. Okay, salute to Old Country Boy again. Black women have been discussing us since Oprah. Okay, absolutely, she's right. Okay, you got Valentina, you're right. So Valentina's making so really enjoying African Dominicans' perspective. Salute to you, Diggable Logic. Old Country Boy, bruh, let's cut the crap and keep it 100. Every race of man has similar complaints about women from the States. Okay, well she's touched on something that, listen, we're going in tonight, because she's touched on something, and I think, so I'm going to get through these chats. That's normal in America, which is why we travel. Black American women take pride in being single and not needing a man. How does she feel about white European women exploiting kids in Africa, especially since she's African? But before we go any further, before I need to stick a pin in that, because that's a very good question. We're gonna get back. So hold on. We got to stick a pin in that because we don't want to lose, because that was a very good. I like that. I went to Africa. I went Africa over 10 years ago and never looked back. Ghana, okay. And Tony Hernandez, my girlfriend is air trained. They don't like African Americans. So let me just go on, Big Super. Go ahead. I
forget because I wrote my shit.
Go ahead, bro. All
right, for angry bus driving Glenn about the white topic. You know what I mean? Why we don't talk about the whites? That goes back to a saying we say in Jamaica. Big J know it well. Duppy know who for frightened, meaning that. Let me say it again. Duppy know who to frighten, or ghosts know who to frighten. So these people are meaning that they know who to go after because they know who will get scared and run. So that's what that terminology means. And now for why I'm going to speak on American from my experience. I don't know about anybody else. This is just my experience and my thoughts on certain things. As far as the American woman in the traditional role of playing, cooking, taking care of kids, loving your man, and all that, they say it's been broken, but nobody's asking how it got broken. Now, in my opinion, and from what I've seen and this is my opinion. This is not the panel's opinion. This is not an American opinion. This is my opinion. I believe the reason why American, the traditional woman and men in America have been broken. I found three things that broke it. That broke the family bond, and the culture of the woman. Handling, the traditional woman that we think of has been broken. And I found three. I found, the legal part of it. got one which is legal. A lot of black men from mass incarceration was never in the home, got taken out of the home. The second one is the social part of it, where females had to go on welfare, and the government was taking care of the woman. So she didn't have a man to cook for. She didn't have a man to wash her clothes, take care of his clothes, make sure, he's up on time and his clothes is ready to go to work. And the third one is education. The African Americans, we tend to have the poorest education, given to us, because one, we don't live in the district where they got all the brand new textbooks, or the better equipment, or better teaching, or better food and stuff like that. I found these three, and you could also say nutrition and all that stuff. You put that in there, but I found these three to be the reason why there's such a disconnect into the family and black structure in America. Because in the late '60s and the '50s, the men worked, the woman would take care of everything, clean the house and all that shit, pack a lunch to go to work and everything, men come and take care. Now, I'm not saying that the men back then wasn't cheating or doing their thing, but the fact that he comes home every night and he took care of the family, and there was a man in the house, so the female felt more secure and comfortable. Now, when the mass incarceration kicked, when the economic system came into play, and then men had to choose a different route to make money, which led up to mass incarceration, taking them out of the home. Now the female had to be strong for two. She had to do the job of two people instead of one. And this is where the independence came from, if you want to call that. This is where the independence come from. The kids grew up watching, the mother doing everything, whether it's the male or the female child. The female child see mother doing everything, so she said to herself, I don't need a man. I can do everything my mother did. And then the male child grew up seeing his father in jail, and then nobody to tell him that, there's other paths you could take, or what's hard work. What really mean hard work? When your hands are damn near have blisters on them from hard work. Right. So there was a lot that goes into it. Now I've heard these other bloggers and all that, they talking about the exploitation, the labeling and all this, and why black men is bashing the black woman, the American, and all that. And like I said, they have nothing to do with that. They're coming from they're speaking from a hurt position. You know what I mean? When people lash out like that or label somebody in a certain way, they're speaking from a hurt position. They're hurt, and it's okay to be hurt. It's okay. It's okay. You need somebody to talk to. You need an outlet to speak your frustration, and they're using YouTube as an outlet to speak on their frustration. But they're not tackling the problem. See, they're not tackling the problem.
Right.
So
they're throwing the pattern to the problem.
Question to you, Big Super.
Can I just quickly add?
Go ahead, Valentina, please.
Yeah, no, I just want to say that I agree with Big Soup about what he said. Definitely, there's been an attack on the black family in America, where the families are broken up. It's like that dysfunction. And also, one thing that's the root problem that Big Soup touched on is mental health. Because of course these kids are growing up in traumatic homes, like there's no dad in the house, or they're in a bad neighborhood. All those things are affecting their childhood as they grow up, their psychology. So they grow up into broken head men, right? And these broken head men are almost like dysfunctional. So they cannot, even if you give them a family or give them a child, they don't know how to be a dad. So it's like that cycle of abuse just continues, and it affects the black family in America, whereby these men are growing up to be man-child. And it's not really their fault, because the mother who raised them also didn't know any better. But whereas in my African culture, Caribbean culture, a family is like a village, it's like everybody's raising the whole family. So you always have that support system. Whereas in America, you're on your own. You and your child. You don't have your grandma, aunt really like helping you discipline that child and raise that child up in the right way. So I think that's where the broken family is really affecting these men nowadays. The passport bros, I believe a lot of them have like unresolved trauma. They need to go to therapy. And some of them, if you're in your 40s, 50s, and you haven't gone to therapy, it's almost kind of like too late because some of them are like narcissists. Narcissists cannot be cured, So I feel sorry that they had traumatic childhoods, being, growing up in like poor neighborhoods, like learning to survive as a child. If you have to survive as a child, that's gonna affect your psychology, almost like into a mental health issue because you taught from a young age to be on your own. It's like child neglect. Child neglect breaks men, breaks women, and makes them dysfunctional as adults.
And you know what, Valentina, I'm glad you said something. I'm glad you touched on some of that mental part thing. I've sat down and I've talked to my grandmother, right? She's from the old country in Jamaica. I spoke down there. I talked to her, and let me show you. She said something that was just crazy. She said, when you say the part about it takes a village to raise a child, she said if you was a kid growing up in her time and you walked past somebody and did not say hello or good morning,
right?
They could slap you or beat you, and then they're gonna tell your parents that you walked past them and didn't say hello or good morning,
exactly.
And then your parents are gonna beat you. So that's where the respect. So the respect was being taught from a young age. The respect was being taught from a young age. So that's why you have, that's why a lot of people in the Caribbean, you notice they'll say hello, good morning,
right.
because it's something, this is a matter of respect. You got to respect your elders. And
exactly.
in America, that used to happen. As a young child, used to walk, used to help the old lady with her bags. If you seen her carrying grocery bag, used to help her up with the bag. Used to when you see your elders passing by and you and your friends was cussing and stuff like that, used to be silent, used to shut up.
Right.
When you on the bus being loud and somebody, an adult came on, you chilled out, you calmed down. But now in today's society that I'm seeing, old folks don't even want to come outside.
Right.
They don't want to sit down in the front. They used to sit out in the front in the porch and watch the kids. They don't do that no more. They don't sit down in the front and watch the kids and see what's going and making sure none of them creeps came by and kidnapped the kids. That's why you have so much kids being snatched off the streets because grandma, the old lady that used to be on the porch, she don't want to be out. The reason why she can't be outside no more because these young kids are shooting. These young kids are robbing these same old ladies that's supposed to help them. Okay, they don't care. They have so it goes to what you were saying about the broken and the trauma that they going through. Now mental health, I don't believe in it, but you could call if that's what the trauma that they're going through, that's what you want to call it, mental health. I'll go with you with that, but I don't believe in mental health. I've said that before, and I'm gonna stay in that position.
Right. I totally agree.
I mean, Valentina made a good point on your video yesterday, which I loved. You made a fantastic point on your video yesterday. You were when you were talking about this thing where, and I totally agree with you because I don't like it when they talk about you always hear this narrative. Well, everybody pays. We're all paying for it, ain't we? And I always say to a person, well, hold on a minute. When your father was caught in your mother, was your mother a whore? Was your father paying for your mother? Or was he simply taking her out on a date and paying for the meal and taking her to the cinema? So I love the fact that you brought that up, because I don't like when brothers talk about, well, you're paying for it anyway. I hate that narrative. I really hate it. So I'm glad that you touched on that.
Well, when it comes to that situation, it's in a way yes and no. What I mean yes and no is
I have
You
to
got
disagree, Big Soup, but go ahead, land the plane.
You got your direct approach, and then you got your courting approach. You know what I'm saying? But either way you take it, you have to show that you're financially responsible. You know what I mean? See, that's a different. You know, this is what I'm getting at. When you're courting a woman to be with her, and you want a relationship with her, men do use their money to show that, yo, listen, I'm financially capable of taking care of you.
Right, I hear what
you know that's on that part. Now you got the other part where men know what they want, and they're not trying to court you, they're not trying to be with you, they just want one thing. Now,
and that's what I'm saying. I don't like it to be confused with prostitution. That's the whole point. I don't like it to be confused with, because it's like some of these brothers, when they make that statement, Big Soup, they're making it in conjunction with, well, you're paying for it anyway. It's like, well, hold on a minute. No, I'm just being a man. I'm being a man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm paying for the cinema or paying for the meal, or I'm being a man, you know, or as we say in England, a gentleman, you know? So I don't like it to be... Yeah,
but the same can be said for a dude that pays for some pussy. You know what I mean? I'm just being a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a man. I could afford. You know what I mean? To offer you that, to make that proposition. You know, just like if you was taking a lady on a date, you could afford to make that proposition. You know, I could take you on a date. You know what I mean? Now let's use the same two men. One with and let's take the money out of their pocket. Do you think they'll have the same? Do you believe, Jay, that they will have the same success as if they had the money in their pocket?
I think, and that's a good question, Big. This is what I would say. Right, and I hear your argument. Because it's like in the animal kingdom. You know, if you're the toughest, roughest lion in the animal kingdom, you're gonna get the females. You know, it goes without saying. When brothers make it's like when brothers make silly comments as, oh well, you're paying for it anyway. They're putting it in the same basket as prostitution. I have a problem with that, because it's totally two different things. Yes, I understand. A woman is she's gonna see Big Super and say, right, just like the animal kingdom, it's been super financially secure. If I have kids with Big Super, is my kid's gonna go to a good school? Is he gonna be a good father? Yeah, a woman's gonna be weighing up all of that, and that goes without saying. Just like, you know, you meet women in the bar and they'll ask you, oh, do you drive? And, you know, questions like that, because they want to know, can you chauffeur me from A to B?
But it also
saying.
And one more thing. And one more thing before I go, Valentina. One more thing. Now let's take the woman now. We took the men. Let's take the woman now. Let's take the regular woman and the supposedly prostitute, right? Let's say the prostitute says she's not a prostitute, but she's willing to take your money and have sex with you. But she's not claiming to be a prostitute. She doesn't come out and say, I'm a prostitute. Just like the regular woman. The regular woman don't come out and say, I'm a prostitute. So, you know, the argument
I would put that, okay, so I get where you're going with this. I will put that as, okay, so I understand. So you meet a woman, I know where you're going with this. I would say this, Big Soup, that it's a woman that's got shame. She has shame. She don't want her shit on French. She might need that financial help. Like, she might meet you wherever, and then, you know, she goes out with you for a meal and everything, and she's like, look, you know, could you give me some money or something? I just think it's a woman that's got shame, but she might like you. She might like you, and she might like you, Big Soup, on some real shit. But she really needs that. Hold on a minute. She really needs that fact. Why have I got two stallions in the building? I've got one stallion. Is that you?
Put on the big screen. The big screen for the dick.
Yo, I got because I've got two. Yo, stallion. On the panel, is that you? I don't know who the hell that.
Anyway, I'm on the panel.
I'm gonna remove him from the stream because I don't know who that is. Yeah, go ahead, NYC King.
First of all, salute to the chat, salute to the panel.
Okay.
Hey, how are you? So what Big J and Big Super is saying, there are going to be girls out there that don't want to be affiliated with the word prostitution, but they do got kids at home, and they do need that money. So prostitution has been going on for centuries. Since they was shooting cowboys and way back in Adam and Eve days. It's going to continue after we're dead and buried. Okay? It's going to continue. And there's nothing that we can do about it. So it's just like that lady who's on the highway selling fruits. You don't have to buy it if you don't want it. But if you want it, go get them fruits. And I'm going to get a lot of hate feedback from this, but I denounce the word passport bros. Don't like it.
I hate it too. I don't like that shit.
I hate it. I think a bunch of white boys made this up because black boys would say the word bro. So it's getting a lot of traction. It's not positive. It's all coming back negative.
Yeah. And why would they label passport bros?
You got white boys and Chinese boys defending it more than the black people are.
But King, like the thing is, passport bros. I can understand why people are mad at or feel a certain way with passport bros, because you know, what I mean, it's no different from bang bros. I know y'all seen the point.
Right.
Bang bros, passport bros. So I guess they're trying to mix the two together.
You got to understand, the three of us, me, you, and Big J, we're travelers. We ain't not affiliated with no passport bros. They got emergency meetings and stuff. You know, they got all kinds of stuff happening. And
hold on. NYC King, time out. What? What are you telling me, bro?
I'm telling you, they trying to make a big thing out of it. And if you look at the people who are defending it, it's all white boys and Chinese boys and people defending that kid who got thrown out of Brazil.
Right.
They're defending this stuff. It ain't the OG traveler like we are. I denounce it. I hate it, and I'm saying it for the world to hear. Some trolls, some attack. People give me all the feedback. I don't like the word passport bros. I don't like it in the news. I don't like people in the news talking about it. I don't like the guy in China that's about to be executed, and they label it passport bro is getting executed. I don't like this trend and the way it's going at all. You know what? It's just like me calling myself a king traveler. I just made it up. I just made it up. And if you guys want to trend with it, then you can trend with it. But I just don't like the word anyway. So I'm going to let it go anyway. But the fact of the matter is that once you travel and you experience different culture and different women, when you do come back to your country, these women don't look attractive to you no more.
Exactly. My God. Preach, brother. Preach. Hallelujah. Preach, brother.
I mean, is that fair enough to say, Big J?
Bro, I agree with you 1,000%. I ain't even gonna front.
Big Sue, is that fair enough to say?
That's a fact. I mean, I'm still getting broad, but to agree, yeah.
King. I think it is, we're missing the seed of the problem. I asked the sister Valentina, right, how she was brought up in Africa. Because I mean, I know a lot of African brothers. I know a lot of African sisters. And how it is, the African sisters, they're feminine, they attend to their man. Could it be that we from the Western world are missing that, are missing our ancient African tradition? So when we do go to these countries, we're getting what belongs to us anyway. That belongs to us.
You're right. You know, a king deserves and demands a submissive queen. Okay? You're not going to get this in the States. You're going to have the police call to your house. She's going to be defiant. Okay? It's going to be a lot of activity. It's going to be a lot of American activity that you don't want. A man...
Can you guys hear me?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, can hear you, Valentina.
Okay.
Yeah,
so one thing... Okay, so one thing... Okay, so one thing about Africans, Africans are very big on education, both men and women, okay? So Africans educate their girls. But when an African woman gets educated, she still submits to her king when she's married. You never catch an African woman respecting her husband. Her mom will check her aunt will check, everybody will check, even if she's a college, she's going to the job. It's just a culture.
Sorry, I got a clap.
Tradition.
Sorry, I got a clap.
If we had a woman that don't disrespect...
Hold on, NYC, hold on. Keep on going, Valentina, hold on. Go on, keep on going. Because I think people need to hear this. And I think this is the seed of the problem why brothers are traveling. And I think the sisters they're not overstanding. They're not overstanding why brothers...
It's a cultural thing. Right.
Yes, they think that it's... Okay, listen, I speak to a lot of brothers, right? And they openly tell me they're sexually deprived. They tell me this. I have brothers emailing me. So, okay, fine. They're engaging in prostitution. Okay, some might not agree with it. Some might not. But let's look at the other side as well. While they're with these women are cutting their toenails. And I'm not saying, women should do that ball and chain business to the sink. I'm not trying to put that out, so I don't want anybody to get my words misconstrued. But they get that attentiveness with it, and these are what these men are looking for. So you, as an African woman, saying that, these women are getting educated as well, and still they have that foundation to be attentive to their man. I feel that a lot of these men are traveling to get attentiveness. And I think a lot of sisters and sisters as well in England as well, they don't understand that. And I think we always miss the seed of the problem. It's always something else. But if we really look at the seed of the problem, that's what it is. You ask everybody, what do you like about Dominican women? Their attentiveness. They would tell you outright.
Right. I just feel like...
If you ask me what I love about American women, you know what I'm saying? I love everything about American women. You know what I mean? The sisters, I love them. You know what I mean? I love them. It's just that I would love to have a conversation with them, and before they jump on any of the panels and go anywhere and say anything, ask me what do I want? And 9 out of 10 times, most when a black woman should ask me what do I want, and you tell them what you want, they'll tell you, I don't do that. Go somewhere else and go find that. That's not me. And as a man, I respect it. I don't call, I'm not going to call her, this. I'm not going to call her that and this. I'm going to respect her. I'm going to respect what she wants. She wants a certain type of man. I want a certain type of woman. Could we both agree to respect that? That's the thing.
Right.
They don't want to respect. Right. They don't want to respect what we want, but they want us to respect what they want. And it's not.
Can I just touch on that?
Not passion. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on a minute before you go, Valentina. I just want to just make before you go, Valentina, because you're definitely going to talk before you go. Sorry, Venus Scorpio. I know you're from Peso Man's channel, right? So you're coming over here. She's an African woman. You don't know how African women get treated. So stop coming over here with your rhetoric. If you want to come up and talk, feel free to do that. Come and voice your opinion, but do not come and abuse. Don't do that, right? Don't do it, because we can do that. We can do that too. So if you want to come and voice your opinion and talk to this sister, come and do that. But stop throwing out this crap, because everybody cheats. Everybody gets treated like shit around the globe. It's not just an African thing. So stop with that, right? Or just get blocked. So if you want to come up and talk. If you don't, get the F off my chat or you'll be blocked. Anyway, carry on, Valentina.
Let's have a respectable conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm not roasting anybody tonight. I'm not roasting anybody tonight.
No. Let's have a respectable conversation. Yeah, if you want to come up and voice your opinion, do it. But Valentina, please go ahead.
Okay. No, I do hope Miss Venus comes up, because I'm not like I'm not blind to how other women are treated. I'm a big proponent of treating women with respect inside marriages or relationships. So I'm all for that. Big Soup knows me and knows I don't do this for women abuse. I know. So if you come up here, we can talk about it. I'm sure me and you agree on a lot of this stuff. But my point is, a woman, I believe I'm a traditional woman, and like I said before, I have a master's degree, but I still know my role as a woman. I'm a feminine woman. I have Christian values, and then I'm taught as a child when I have my man, I have to treat him like a king. He's my king. He's the head of my household. He's the father of my children. I'm gonna give him that respect, right? The only time when that respect gets broken, not even gets broken, it's like if he becomes abusive to me and my children, then that changes the dynamics of the whole thing. But if a man is treating his family well, you can easily submit to him, give him his role as a man, a provider, and a protector. He's doing right by you. But if it goes out of bounds and starts abusing you and the children, of course, you have to respectfully get out of that situation.
And
you don't have to disrespect him anyway. You can just find your way out.
And Valentina, you said something that goes over a lot of females' head.
Big Super, here's a question for you. But before you build, here's a question for you so you can build on top of what you're going to say. So I think, you can answer, or NYC can answer. But go ahead, my brother.
I'm going to, let me answer this one. I want peace. I want peace in the house. That's one. I want peace. I want
Nicole, pull up, man. Pull up, Nicole. Pull up.
Nigga, I'm going to be honest with you. I want a lot of sex from my woman. I want head. I want all type of nasty, freaky shit with my woman. I want to do all the freaky shit with my woman, all that shit. You know what I mean? I want to be able to. I want to lead. I want to lead. I'm going to lead anyway. But you know what I mean? I don't want to be. I don't want my decision to be second guessed. You know what I mean? And I want my woman to represent me when she step outside. You know what I mean? When she step outside, I want her to represent me. And Nico, you can see, if you ever been in a relationship in America with a black woman, you see the difference. When I was in a relationship with a black woman, my woman represented me when she stepped outside. And she was gorgeous, body and everything. And she never got, you know what I mean? She never got disrespected when she stepped outside. And the reason why she never got disrespected, because I tell her, yo, you know, I don't really like how you that dress. You know, we go shopping. She spend her own money buy clothes, but I would make my suggestion and say, that's not good. And when she did listen and everything like that, and she did that, she never got, yo, shorty, yo, ma. She never got none of that, but she did get compliments. You look beautiful today. And that was it. And it was nothing more than that. Even when when she's with me, men don't look at her. Even though she had a nice figure, men wasn't looking at her weird and shit like that, because when she stepped out with me, she represented me, and I represented her. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I want that feeling like when I'm not with you, you know, my presence is walking next to you, and other men respect that. You know what I mean? That's what I want. And now I got you, King. And I want to just touch on Valentina, what she said about submission. You know what I mean? A lot of females get the word submission, and it goes over their fucking head. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It just goes over their head. They don't understand that as men too, we are submissive to you.
Right.
You know, we are submissive to you. Like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. What my opinion of submission. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna give you my, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give you my opinion. This is my opinion. Nobody else's opinion on this panel. This is not a black man's opinion. This is not a black American man's opinion. This is not a Caribbean opinion. This is my opinion. When you're out, let's say when you're out in the streets and you're doing bad, you're doing so bad, and you want to change, right? You go to church and you submit, you surrender. You feel a whole weight lifted off your shoulders. You feel right. Brand new. You feel new again. That's my definition of submission, not the Oxford diction of submission. Right. That is my definition. So when I submit to my woman, that means a whole weight has been lifted off my shoulder. I feel new. I feel brand new again. And I want her to feel the same way. When she submits to me, I want her to feel like all the weights on her is gone. She feel free. She could surrender to me. I want to surrender to her.
Right.
Yeah.
That is surrender. I agree.
Yeah.
That is submission.
Submission is surrendering to your partner.
The woman women nowadays, when they hear the word submission, they just run to the Oxford Dictionary. He want me to be his slave.
That's not it. You know, we are very submissive to our woman if our woman is also submissive to her. You know, it's like when I go out with my woman. She's naturally beautiful, but when she puts herself together and we go out, she's put her high heels on, she's got her hair done right, her makeup's right, her body is tight, and she smells like a kitten. I want to come home to her. Okay, I want to come home to her because she's already put she's put the work in to make me feel good about her natural beauty by putting herself together. And to wear them shoes and take off those sneakers, to put on that dress or them slacks, or to keep her hair smelling like peaches. So I would want to be with her.
And King, they're gonna attack you on that. I'm gonna tell you how they're gonna attack you.
That's because they never had a woman before. I'm
gonna tell you how they're gonna attack you on that. You know, a lot of females, they're gonna say, "Oh, when you met her, she was wearing those slutty outfits and all that." But then you have women that don't dress like that, and the men don't want them. But I'm gonna explain.
That's up to them to feel some type of way.
I'm gonna explain
what I got.
But I'm gonna explain to you the difference. I'm gonna explain to you the difference.
Before you do that, Big Soup, Nikki Nicole, you have a lot to say, and so feel free. I've put the link in the chat, so feel free to come and voice your opinion, sis. Just feel free. I mean, you know, there ain't no slandering on that. We're having a conversation, so feel free to come and we're having a conversation. So feel free to come and voice your opinion.
Yeah, and you notice I didn't say the B word, but anyway, let me jump. Let me tell you what I was about to say. So you're gonna have females that attack you and say things like, you know, oh, I was dressed like that, and now you want to change the way I look. Oh, but when you see but when women are dressed in a casual and respectable manner, men don't want them. Let me tell you the difference. Men that want the woman that that are dressed provocative or whatever, provocative. You know what I mean? They're not ready for a relationship. They're not looking for a relationship. But does it happen? Can it happen? It can happen. It can happen. But the man that goes out and looks for a woman that's wholesome and or dress
provocative.
Yeah.
Confident. You're right. Confident.
Yeah, the one that's dressed casual and respectable. You know what I mean? They're ready to settle down.
Well, they big super.
What is provocative?
Provocative is when your titties are out, your ass cheeks are out. You
that's
know,
what we're looking for.
you got to dress that's very revealing, and you know what I mean. It says a lot. It shows more. It shows your body. It shows your body. It shows more. It shows more than your body.
But that's a woman looking for something, Big Super. What I'm saying is, my lady doesn't dress up like that.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. My lady. See, that's the key word. My lady. She's representing you. That's the outfit you chose. 100. That's the outfit you chose for her to wear. So she's representing you.
That's what she chose to wear.
Yeah. Oh, that's what she chose.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sorry, Soup. So when you guys say provocative, do you mean, I know, like for example, me, I consider myself a classy woman. I've never been trashy, but based on what I'm wearing, sometimes you have to show off your best assets, right? So if I'm going somewhere, I'm not gonna dress trashy, but I would dress cute and sexy, right? I show my cleavage, depending on where I'm going. If I'm going to the beach, I put on a nice bathing.
Yeah, but see, that's the difference when you put
my cleavage, I'm showing, but I'm not like trashy. So when you guys say provocative, like what level do you mean? Like everything is like from top to bottom.
I got you, Valentina. Now, you mentioned the
Big
beach.
Soup, keep it PC.
No. It's all great.
I'm playing. Go ahead, bro.
Valentina, you mentioned the beach, right? You mentioned the beach, and you're in your bikini and all that stuff like that. Do you notice a lot of men don't approach you when you're in the bikini at the beach? And a lot of men don't try to. You don't see a whole bunch of men at the beach trying to pick up ladies. Why is that? Because your outfit match where you're going. You're at the beach. That's understandable. You know what I mean? That's how you're supposed to dress. You're not gonna go to the beach in a pair of sweatpants and go in the water. No,
Is
they
the sun
understand that
going out?
you're going to the beach and you're gonna enjoy yourself and you're in a bikini because the outfit that you're wearing match the place where you're gonna be. So you're
Right.
not. So men understand that. Now, I'm not saying that you're not gonna have one or two that that might see some way revealing and say, you know what, maybe I could get that. But you don't see a lot of men. You don't see a whole bunch of men at the beach because if that was the case, if it was all about sex, 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 you see a whole
Mm,
bunch of men at the beach because they're half naked.
mm.
But you
Right.
don't see that.
Right.
But
But
if I see you on the street walking in a bikini now, that's totally different.
that's because they would be looking for something dressing provocative, uh, without a man acquaintance with you. Sometimes people will pick up and smell. Okay, she's looking to be with somebody, but dressing, uh, to like you said, to kitten up and doll up for the man you're with is a different story. You got women that will not dress provocative or beautiful unless they're with their man because they want to express that beauty with only that man. you know. But if you got a woman who's consistently looking for attention, boobs out, silky clothes, so people can look at her, that's
Stallion
being
want,
provocative. And
Stallion want to address the panel.
you're gonna attract all the wrong people and the wrong reasons. You know. So, when I go out with my lady, she dresses beautiful. Black leather coat, hair down the back, you know, high heels, body slamming, and all I could say to myself, I can't wait to get her back home.
Now, how would you dress, King? Because they're gonna want to ask that. So when your woman is dressed like that, how do you dress?
I have a lot of expensive clothes. I got one bedroom, just I call it my closet. I just got clothes like
Yeah,
bombers.
but
I got.
besides being expensive, tell us. Go break it down. Break
I
it down.
dress the same way. I dress casual. I dress to the occasion. I dress casual. Even when I got my hood attire on, it's an expensive look. I dress casual. I don't
So
want
if
to overboard it.
she's wearing something sexy, right? No homo. If she's wearing something sexy, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing.
Are you wearing a pair of jeans,
I'm
some
wearing
sneakers?
whatever I'm wearing. It could be shoes. It could be nice brand new boots. It could be shoes, a nice shirt. A nice little white shirt or a jacket. It could be whatever the occasion calls for. I'm not gonna.
Now,
I'm not. I don't dress bummy not for a
do you
long.
own do you own a suit?
I own a bunch of suits, bunch of tuxedos. I got at least 3 tuxedos. I got suits.
Mm. See the difference?
I can go out to a black tie affair tonight.
See the difference? Representing your men. Now, if King would have said, "Yo, nah, I don't own no pair of suit," you know what I mean? That'll be a different story.
No, I used to be an art dealer. I used to be an art dealer, and I had to wear suits almost every day. So I used to go out to a lot of black tie affairs in Manhattan, a lot of wine drinking, and a lot of talking with people from Park Avenue. I can't show up in no bullshit attire. Put it that way.
Yo,
I do a
Stallion.
lot of business. I do a
So
lot of business. Whoa! I do a lot of business with a lot of Caucasian people, and you have to be accepted by them for them to respect you.
Mm.
right.
Yo,
So to go back to what you were saying, big. So can you big soup? You guys can
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, we
Oh,
hear
no,
you.
no. Okay, not to go. Okay, so big soup. I know I agree with you that when you have a man, when you're in a relationship, you have to dress respectfully because you're representing your man as well. Just like when your man leaves the house, he's representing you. So he has to look. You can't be going out there all looking trashy in dirty clothes. So everybody has to look representable to whoever is looking at them from outside, right? But at the same time, I know you're not gonna want your woman to go out there looking like a nun, right? You're still gonna want her to go out there
No,
looking cute, right?
no. See, that's another misconception that a lot of females not be getting. We don't want you to go out there, with no bonnet on your fucking head and looking like trash. No, we don't want you. We still want you. You know what I mean? You represent me, so that means you need to, you need to look as gorgeous as the way I see you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because why would I want you going out there looking bummy for another man that's looking? See, if you have to go out looking bummy or looking like a nun and stuff like that, to me, that's a man that's low self-esteem. I got, a man have enough self-esteem to where his woman is gorgeous. And she, she just dressed, the clothes, matches her body. And she just, it's just you see, when a woman represents you, her confidence is so strong that certain men is afraid to approach her because they know she gotta have a man. Other than if it's so easy for a man to go up to a woman and talk to her and stuff like that, then she, either one, she, they know he has no confidence in a man, or no respect for a man, so that's why he could talk to her like the way he want to talk to her, or approach her the way you want to approach her. But there's certain things that when you see certain women, they have a certain confidence, they have a certain confidence that says, it's two things. You have to be polite to them. You got to show them respect as soon as you're in their area, or you don't want to approach them because that confidence that they have, and that confidence comes from their ability, to represent your partner. You want when you step out your partner, they know you have a man. That's why a lot of guys, if I see a woman provocative in the States, I don't give a fuck if she have a man, because nigga, if you let her come out like that, nigga, then she don't respect you. And why the fuck should I respect her? Or respect you?
That's a good point.
Yo, Stallion, you've been up here for a minute. What's your take on this shit?
Man, there's a lot there to comment on. I said a thing in the private chat for everybody to see on the panel. I think we need to do a survey. I do think we need to do a survey of the guys on the panel to address that question of one of the people that put information in the chat. I think it made a reference to would you want a woman in the States to change? I don't know if you want to do that, I can start it off.
Oh, what you want
to do that? You can do that. What do you think women in the States need to change?
Well, then let Stallion start it off. Let Stallion start.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Stallion.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say. Now, this only represents me. You guys may or may not disagree or have a difference on what I'm getting ready to say. I think number one, I'll speak on the man's point to the woman in the U.S. or any of these women here in the States. There has to be upfront communication from day one. A man's expectations of what he expects in a relationship and or marriage. Okay, once that's established, assuming that's already done, I would say, in my opinion, that the women's got to cut down the masculinity. And I won't go into the story, but when women start using the word motherfucker and using other words that men would use in between each other, that shows a lack of class. That shows masculinity. That's a turnoff to me. I've met women out here, very beautiful, educated, and they have that yuck mouth. That's very masculine. That's very, no class at all. That's what I'm saying. Right. Number two, women are too quick in the States to weaponize their pussies. In other words, what I'm saying by that is you get a woman's mad about something, it could be something minor, and then all of a sudden now she don't want to, roll in the sack with the guy at night. That I see as a no-no. It's one thing, but something minor or stupid, that needs to be set aside. That's entitlement. And number three, the big thing is, and I think all guys will agree on the panel on this one, is that once you're in a marriage here in the States, it isn't a clean break. Women, and what they do is when women file these divorces, if you can look it up, I don't have the statistic here in front of me, but it appears they have weaponized a guy. If a guy goes out and he cheats on a woman for whatever reason, they use that and use the nuclear weapon, which is a divorce. And what I mean by a nuclear weapon is when they nuclearize it, they're destroying the marriage, but they're also destroying the children as well, because now you're going to have two separate households, two separate scenarios, and then the games, and that's when the games really start. And that's, with the children. So that's, and if you married another country, for the most part, it's a clean break for the most part. There might be some other issues and everything else, but in the States, it's a whole set of rules. So to that person that made that comment, that's a start.
Let him rock, because he's been waiting for a long time. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, that's a start. Secondary issues are women's appearance. A lot of women have, and I'm going to take some heat for this one, but I'm going to call it as it is. So many women use food and male dogs as their substitute. They need to, they need to care about their appearance. When I go out to a club and I see a woman that's 350 pounds, that's 5'5", wearing a tube top with her belly hanging out and tight jeans and bulges everywhere. I mean and house shoes. So I'm working on house shoes. What are they thinking? My mind is, what are they thinking? That's a big turnoff.
You know what's so silly, Stallion? They think they're attractive.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. There's the delusionalness. And I'm almost thinking, I'm not going to be funny when I say this. I think that some of the women here really, and I'm not saying this to be funny or anything, I think some of the women really need some additional assistance, mental health, because it seems like there's stuff that's so far out in left field, it doesn't even make sense anymore. I mean, it's just like, why does this happen? What's going on? And I can say this I just came from Ghana last month. I was there for over 3 months. And I've been there before. One of the things I notice is most of the women don't have no wealth there. Yeah, for the most part. But they can still dress classy. They can still, I don't hear the word motherfucker, out of their mouths. I hear, they're women. They're feminine.
Right.
And, so it's a whole different world. I'd rather marry a poor girl like that. A girl that has a basket on her head on the street, if she carries herself well, because I don't care about money, because I got money. But it's just a point that to address that question. Those are all sticking points with me. Now everybody else can weigh in and agree or disagree or alter what I said. So I'm done.
No, all right, Stallion, I totally agree.
Okay, sorry, just one quick thing. Can I just do one thing? Is it okay because I'm the only female here? Is it okay if I chime in after each one of you guys talk about you want out of that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so as far as feminism, women being feminine and masculinity, I agree with Stalin. Our women need to understand that one thing that makes men weak, if you really want, not to make a man weak, but if you really want a man to do what you want him to do, what you want him to do, be in your feminine energy. Feminine energy is a man's weakness. So when you bring on that masculine energy, you're not going to get anything out of this man. If you really want to get something out of a man, be in your feminine energy. That's their weakness. So that's just my opinion from what I've noticed. As far as denying sex, I was raised to believe that you never, especially when you're married, never deny your man sex. I've been married and I never deny my husband sex. If you're feeling tired, you can talk to him and be like, what, right now it's not the time, but you should never ever deny your man sex. If you don't want him, just leave him, but don't use that as a weapon, because it's not going to end well for you, because you can easily go and get it from somewhere else that same night. Okay. And as far as divorce, I have to disagree with you a little bit. Divorce, I don't believe in divorce, but I know sometimes divorce is necessary for the sake of the kids and the wife when abuse is involved. Because sometimes it's better for a couple to divorce and separate than for the kids to grow up in a very toxic environment that's going to cause them to have psychological issues as adults. So I don't believe in staying together just for the sake of it, to keep a marriage together when it's very toxic for everybody involved. It's not conducive for everybody's health. So I have to disagree there a little bit. As far as appearance, I'm from the third world country. I'm from Africa. And I feel like outside the United States, every time you leave your house, you always have to get dressed up. Even if you go into the supermarket, you have to get dressed up. You have to look your best. You don't leave the house looking like a bum. You have to leave the house looking at least like you're representing your family and yourself, So don't just step out of your house, you have to look presentable. So that's like, I don't say third world country thing, but we don't go out of the house now looking our best, even if it's just across the street to buy some grocery. As far as profanity, I agree with you. I don't curse, I don't use profanity because I think that's just the lowest form of being a human being, because like your mouth has to be clean. When you speak, representing yourself. If I have to use F-bombs, F you this, BB that, I cannot do that, me personally, because I just feel like, to me, that's like foul, it's dirty, it's disgusting. And I feel like as a woman, throwing F-bombs everywhere makes you unfeminine and it's not attractive. That's just my opinion. Anyway, men, carry on, please. Sorry.
All right, let me interject in that. You know, when a woman's got one weapon against a man, and that's her mouth. Okay, a woman in her body, that's her weapon. Okay, she can give sex, she can take it away. But when a woman curses out her man, she takes away his pride. And inside that man's brain, it's like, I should beat this bitch up. Okay? Two men can't run a household. So once a woman starts dropping an F-bomb and disrespecting you, or you ain't no good, your relationship basically over. Okay? In America, marriage is a business. And if you got children, it's a bigger business. For God's sake, Kanye West paying $200,000 a month. $200,000 in child support. It's a business. These foreign women, when they get to know you, they want to know whether you have a house, you got a pension, okay? And they'll marry you because they know what? They're going to get that pension and that house off you. They're not, these foreign women that guys travel the world with are not stupid. They have done their research. They got the girls only group. They got the bros only. They got the girls only group. These chicks talk. Make sure that he's old, he got money, and he got him a house, or he's in the military. That way, when he croaks, you get all of that money. Okay? If you're not a submissive woman to your man, just like you said, it's not cool to turn your man off and not give him sex. But a lot of these Western women use sex as a weapon. If you can't pay my phone bill, you can't get this. Come on, man. When is this sex using this as a tool to get what you want? But once a woman does not respect the man, that relationship is done. You just stuck in there believing that, I hope she can change. But when she's got a narcissistic way about herself, these people don't change, narcissists. They're going to continue to attack you. They're going to continue to put you down. And when you're having your worst days, they're going to kick you in the butt and kick you again. Like, maybe you shouldn't have did that. Not back you up. Not rub your back and say, honey, it's going to be okay. These narcissists, they won't get you. So all I'm saying is, even you guys who are traveling, don't think these girls are poor and stupid. They're very smart overseas. They know how to get what they want. Okay, they want to get here, they want to get the visas, and they want to make sure you got something that they can get. And half the time they got boyfriends in these other countries. They got kids and lives. You just travel there. They make you believe that, I'm your girl. Send me some Western Union money. Okay, but that's not the fact. Don't play yourselves. The Western woman needs to understand that the people that are traveling, because we're not getting what we feel we deserve in the States. Men are very submissive. And just like the young lady on the panel said, if you're good to your man, he's going to be good to you. If you're good to me, I can't say, you're not good enough. No, I'm going to be good to you. I'm going to think about doing good things with you. I want to go shopping and get you nice things. And do men pay? Yeah, we pay. If you're good to us, we're going to pay and buy you something nice because we want to keep you happy.
All right. I got to do this real quick, and then I got to quickly respond. Can I just quickly I got you, Valentina. But okay. I'm going to jump off in a minute and show but Big J. I got to go show my brother. There'll be some love, but let me just answer Stanley's question real quick. So, all right. What do we want for the woman to change in America, or the black woman? Well, if you want to use the black woman, all right. First one is their attitude towards my ability, my ability to provide, my ability to protect, my ability to lead. That's one of the things that's the attitude part. So when I say attitude, that's what I mean by their attitude. That's what I want to. That's one thing I want them to get rid of. The second thing I want them to get rid of is the competition. I don't want a woman to be in a competition with me. I want you to be working with me than competing with me. So if I have a job that makes a little bit more money than you, you know what I mean? That don't mean, oh, I got to get a better job than you. No, I want you to get a better job, you know, and I want you to put the resources together because we're going to build a foundation, and then we're going to build a house together, and then we're going to build a community, and then eventually a nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why those are pretty much the two things that I would prefer, you know what I mean, the system to get rid of. You know, the attitude towards my ability and the competition. Because the attitude that, you know, women give you is not support. They think it's supporting you by telling you, oh, we need this. Oh, we need that. Oh, you got to do better. Oh, you just doing nothing. Oh, you're nothing. That, you know, that kind of attitude drives a man away. That's not encouraging a man. That's not supporting a man. That's not pushing a man to do better. Men is always going to try to do better, to support his woman, because, you know, it's a chemical in our brain that pushes. But when your attitude come into play and you just you're just beating somebody down. Yes, I say for example, if I have a job and you know, I'm doing good on the job, you know, money's coming in, right? But if you feel like, you know, I could do better, your attitude needs to be towards, you don't have to tell me, you know what I mean? You could present something to the business that we're to the company. We're a company. You know, present something to the company. Say, listen, this was this year, and we got to prepare for this. You know, let me understand where you're coming from, so that way I can use my ability. Or if you don't, or if you don't see me maximizing my ability, you know, show me the avenues. You know, show me. Don't tell me what I need to do. Men don't like to be told what to do. You know, it's better if you show me, like, hey, babe, you know, you're working for this company and you're making this, but over here, I noticed that, you know, that's something to look into. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something real?
That's why I like it.
All right, let me say something real quick. I got a guy in the comments saying
hold on. I gotta go show BLB some love, but I'll be back. I'm still watching.
Yo, Big Super, let BLB know that I'm coming through in about half an hour. Yeah?
All right, cool.
All right, man, blessings.
All right, so I got
nice
this
talking
guy
to
in the
Big
chat.
Soup.
I got this guy in chat says, Mo said, I support the peso man. I don't support the peso man. Some of the stuff that he has in his chat, as far as travelers sleeping with homeless people, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, if you're gonna give the homeless girl money, send her on her way. Okay, I don't like that. Okay, and I could be in anybody's chat, Mo. I'm not supporting what peso man does. I mean, I'm not. But some of the things that he's bringing to attention is unacceptable for me, and I'm gonna comment on it. I don't know the peso man personally. I'm never on his panel. We never talked before. But when he exposes certain brothers for doing disruptive stuff, of course I'm going to comment if I don't like it. That's the power of being in the chat room. If you don't like something, you're going to comment on it. And I denounce any travelers sleeping with homeless people. I don't like it at all. So I don't have any affiliation with the peso man. I've never been on his panel. I support Big J. I support a lot of brothers. I'm just a dude who chats. I chat on different sites, different people. I hold wrenches in different rooms. I just chat. Okay, I got no friends. Only friend I got 3 friends, me, myself, and I. All right, so go ahead.
Okay. So can I just add to what Big Soup and you said earlier? My understanding is Okay, this is always what I've also been taught, and I don't understand what you men are saying. That respect goes a long way, and just as women, we we have to respect our men, be respectful to them. But of course, respect also goes both ways. But I feel like this is what I was told by my parents, because men have a lot to deal with in this world, and they hold a lot of weight on their shoulders. And sometimes when they come home, the last thing they need is us like hitting them or just nagging or complaining about a bunch of different stuff, because they just want to come home and finally just like feel at peace and rest. So just that respect and just being patient with the men, being just respectful towards them. So I agree with that. And also, like with mental health, I believe narcissism, it goes both ways. Because sometimes a woman can be nice to a man, and a man who's not mentally healthy will not be able to accept her kindness. He will abuse it and really take it as a weakness on our part. So when a man is mentally healthy, everybody's healthy, then yeah, I understand, being nice to your man and him being nice back to you. But some guys, you'll be nice to them, they won't be nice back because they cannot take that kindness. But I know that's not, this is about men, not women. And I know the question was about men and not women, but I just want to add that, of course, it goes both ways. Some of these things that the men said on the panel, of course, it goes the same way for them to women as well. Women also probably want to be respected, to be treated nice. But I know the question was about men. But I just want to add that I do agree with the men on the panel. But just to remember that it's a two-way street. We all treat each other with kindness and respect, and we can get a lot out of the relationship. Yeah, that's all I have to say on that.
Okay, Big J, you're up next.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm a stand on my square. I mean, what Valentina said, about upbringing Africa, I've always said it from the beginning, that it is an old, ancient African tradition. I'm not going to speak for DR, because my missus is from DR, and, I've embedded in the DR culture. I'm Jamaican as well. And I just feel that it's an African tradition when a woman is being submissive to her man. I'm not saying there ain't any other cultures out there, because, you've got the Chinese culture also that does it. But for the most part, it's Africa. And I just feel some of these Western women have lost that. Why? I don't know. And I also feel if they was to grab that back, it will just kill a lot of this division between the women and men. It would just kill a lot of division. I really do believe that. That's why I'm just so thankful that Valentina said that and was just so honest and open with that. I just feel if more women in America, more women in England were like that, there'd be a lot less bullshit going on. And I truly believe that. That's why I always say that. As I said, the Dominicanas have held on to that tradition. That they've been taught. When I speak to my missus, she tells me, she's been taught by her mum. She saw how her mum treated her father. The father used to go to work, used to come home, the house was clean, his food be on the table. I mean, a lot of people would turn around and say, oh, well, this is being male chauvinistic. Oh, a woman should have a ball and chain attached to her leg. How can I say it? A lot of things will come out. Oh, is that what you want? And then we'll come out with, oh, so you just want a slave. No, I want a woman. I don't want a slave. I want a woman. If I'm going wrong, or if I'm behaving like an arsehole, I want my woman to check me on that. Like, yo, Big J, no. If I want her to see what I don't see. She's my equal at the end of the day. And what Big Super says not long ago, I'm submissive to my woman. I'm submissive. If I see her and she's doing the washing and I'm sitting down, yeah, I'm going to get up and give her a hand. Of course, I'm going to say, baby, you know what? Yo, just chill on the sofa. I got this. I'm going to make something to eat today. Or I'm going to mop the kitchen. Or I'm going to take care of shit. You just take it easy. I'm submissive to my woman. Right. But I was in a panel not long ago and I said to a bunch of women, I'm going to say the word submissive. And they all had a problem. Oh, I'm not no slave to no man. It's like they had a problem with that word. And as soon as I said, well, I'm submissive to my woman, I'm going to take her feet and rub it. I'm submissive to my woman. Then all of a sudden, the energy changed. So I don't know what's happened. I hear what Big Super says, about the household and people. I mean, I have to say, I hear what Big Super's saying, but I feel that sometimes we have too much excuses. We have too much excuses for this behavior, you know. And like I said, I stand on my square. This is why, and I'm not talking about, you know, the passport bros are out there that are sleeping with homeless women and putting it on camera. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the brothers that are specifically traveling to other countries to get that feminine spark because they're not getting it in America or they're not getting it in Europe. That's the men I'm talking about. And these women need to understand this is why the men are traveling. You know, it's not a mystery why they're traveling, you know, but they want to pertain it. Oh, it's sex. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. And every other thing. Like at the end of the day, I want a woman. I want a woman. I don't want that masculine energy to be fighting with that woman, mano, mano. I don't want that. You know, I know my position as a man.
But, you know, Big Jamie, add into that. You know, a lot of those women, that's what they will say. He said, well, those guys they only travel because they can't, they're going to go have sex. And I kind of look at it from the standpoint that may be for some guys the initial reason. But if they're going to move, they're going to be down there for, you know, to retire or maybe translate to another country. That's a secondary. That's a byproduct. That's a byproduct. You know, you're there for the, you know, you get adapted in the culture and stuff, because at the end of the day, the sex is going to wear off. I mean, you're going to get tired of all that. You're going to want, you know, you might want that white sand beach. And obviously, you know, it's going to be in the Caribbean in this part of the world, whether it's, you know, Dominican Republic or Jamaica or wherever, you know. So it might be, you know, because of that, to get out of the environment, the warm weather. It could be eating fresh fruit. It could be a number of things that, you know, that really overtake that part of what you initially might have thought about it. Some guys just want to leave altogether because, you know, a lower cost of living. There was one guy I seen on one of the other panels, and he said, hey, my money stretches farther in another country. Why wouldn't I have that option, got my passport? Why wouldn't I go to Peru or Ecuador or somewhere else where I can have a better standard of living with the money I have? It wasn't even about getting pussy or anything. So, you know, but they kind of brush that stroke and say, you know, you guys are going for one reason only. And there's a lot of, yeah, that's just, to me, that's hater talk. You know, and the thing is, if that's the case, then let's just go with that argument. If that's the case, and that's the sole reason why guys are going, then they need to look at themselves and say, why are guys leaving just for that? Because the women in the States aren't providing what men are looking for, whether it be short-term, long-term marriage, whatever it may be. So, you know, they can't have it both ways. That's all I'm saying.
So, yeah, you made a good statement.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Stallone. I understand what you're saying, but some men do travel just for that, and some do not. Because at the beginning, we did touch on the different types of passport bros. So I agree with you, but we're not going to deny that some men just travel for that, and they are doing that. It's not because of the women in America are not good enough. They may have their own reasons, but I'm not going to agree that women in America are just so bad that these men are lazy. Some men just want to try a different flavor dish, or maybe they cannot get the same woman that they want in America, so they have to go up.
Yeah. It's just, I just feel that, you know, it's going to be a vicious cycle. It's still going to continue to be a vicious cycle. I really do believe
women
that.
Back home.
Yeah, definitely. I feel it's going to be a vicious cycle. I do feel, and I say it again, I think a lot of women can learn from the African women and Dominican women. They might not like it, but I feel they can learn a lot. I really do believe they need to get back their femininity, especially when you look what's going on in social media, how women, you know, it's like they got this whole independence thing confused. Oh, get the bag. You know, don't make sure a guy don't tell you what to do, and all of this crap. They've got it confused.
Big J,
you know,
Big J,
right? Right.
Some of this,
and also Big J.
Go ahead.
What thinking? Just
go ahead, Valentina.
Go ahead.
Who are like from different countries, like African women in America, or some Latino women in America.
Valentina, you broke up. Say that again. You broke up.
Okay.
Say that again.
So
Yeah,
I
I
was
can hear
saying that okay, we have to be mindful because in America we have like Africans in America who are born and raised here, right? They're educated, they have their job, but they still live in America as African Americans, but they are from Africa or the Caribbean or Latin America. But they still uphold their culture of like respecting a man, right? So not every woman in America, just because they have a college degree or they have a good job, not all of them think the same, right? Some women still stay in their feminine role, even with a good job and a college degree. But I think the difference is some women are now raised under the culture of like being feminine, you know. Some women take it the wrong way to think, oh, just because I have a college degree, I have a job, nobody can tell me anything, but that's not true. But some women grow up in the same environment in America, same country, but they still remain feminine. So we can't lump all those women into the whole Black American. Because some Black American women who go to church and they have college degrees, they still are feminine because they know their role.
No, I agree. I don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's many African American women. I don't want to talk for African American women. You know, I'm sure there's lots of them that have got that. You know, they're subservient to the man, just like the man is subservient to them, and so on in England. But when you look at the ratio, it's not good. The ratio's really not good. It's like it is a needle in the haystack. It really is. And I'm sorry, I can't talk for African American. I can't. I only can just what I hear, what African American brothers tell me. You know, as I said, I get emails from brothers like, look, I'm looking for a girlfriend. Okay. What? Oh yeah. No, Sosúa is the last place you need to look for a girlfriend. Look elsewhere. You know, they're like 50 something. Some are my age, some are younger. And I always tell them, yeah, you know, go elsewhere and look for a wife. But it always comes out to the same thing. And, you know, I hear things about, oh yeah, but they're lames in America and stuff like. Come on, I've seen brothers that are 300 pounds and they're living in Dominican Republic and they're happy. They're happy. They're literally happy. Literally. You know, okay, you know, the woman's petite, but that's not the point. They're happy. They're being treated like a king. Now, some might say, oh, but they're being used and blah, blah. Who are we to judge? You see, we're quick to judge. Oh, he's being used. Oh, he's paying. Who are we to judge? You don't know that guy's situation. We're just quick to judge.
He wants to pay, Big J. He wants to pay because he's living his fantasy where he can just buy his women. You know, this thing with women, it starts in the household. If a little girl sees that her brother is being really nice to the father, the relationship goes well, you know, then most likely she's going to adapt to that and grow up to be submissive to her husband and take care of him. But if the household is filled with drama and fighting all the time, this is where you get the bad women. Okay, this is where you get the problems at, where the woman is defiant and fighting, because this is what she's seen her mother go through all these years, fighting with the father, arguing with the father. Then when she finally gets into a relationship with a person, this is what her beliefs are, that I got to fight him, I got to stand my ground, and he's attacking me. But if you're brought up in a different situation where you have a peaceful home, you're most likely to get that submissive woman who wants to bond with you and build with you, because she's learned that by watching her mother and father work together to build a better future for her. This is where you get the good. And I'm just trying to capitalize on what she's saying. Am I right or wrong? Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's fair enough.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you another.
So, one more thing, as my brother said, you know, sex wears off. You could have Miss America in your house, and you could be banging her every night, and then one day you're gonna wake up and say, "Hey, I'm tired of banging Miss America. I'm just tired of it."
Yes.
It wears off.
It does.
All right, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, about, you know, some of the women. I'm going to play devil's advocate here and then make my point of why they're incorrect. Yeah, or being hypocritical. Women will say, yeah, well, that guy that goes down to these different countries for sex only and he's paying for it. Okay. And then they're going to come back and say, well, she's using him. She's only using him for this and that. Well, what are they doing in the States? I mean, you know, look at even in marriage, the laws are set up, stacked against the men. You know, a lot of these women are, you know, they're looking for a paycheck. Guys that got money, they're looking to get pregnant so they can get a check. I mean, that's how scandalous they are. So, you know, who's using who for when and what? You know, I mean, it's like that you can't have it both ways. If they weren't doing any of that, then they could make that argument and say, well, the woman in the other country is only using you for your money and this and that. They're doing it 10 times worse in the States. You know, if you look at
don't be an athlete. You can't be an athlete in the United States because hey, they want to pop out a baby. It's all financial.
Right. But you know, one thing I want to say something here real quick too. I thought about this. I was on Jay's panel the other day with the roasting session, which I love, man. I mean, I've been listening to that over and over again. It's funny. But anyways, you know, one thing that the women will always say, they'll say, well, you know, they talk about tricking. Okay. And they talk about prostituting, this and that. Okay, so and they, of course, they talk about passports and all that kind of stuff. You know, my thing is what defines a man tricking? And I'm going to give you an example. It's a true story. A couple years ago, is it a guy that goes out on the street and sees a woman in a bikini and high heels, and she says, "Hi, baby," and he says, "Hey, how you doing?" Get a small conversation, pay for play. Okay. That would, to me, that defines what it is. But let's go a different route. And this was a true story. It happened to me a couple years ago. I was out of the country, and I went to a restaurant. There was a girl working in there in the restaurant. She was cute. Yeah, you're cute and all that. Bought some drinks, bought some food. It was like 3 or 4 days. You know, we kind of talked. It wasn't that busy and everything. And then she said, I forget. Well, I asked her if we could hook up sometime, and she goes, well, we can hook up when I get off work. Okay, cool. Rode down, back down on her. She had a motorcycle. Rode on the motorcycle to the place I was staying at. We had sex for the night. Okay, now keep in mind, now there was no talk of money or anything involved. We went down, we did our thing. In the morning, she said, "Hey, baby, can you give me a few dollars for XYZ or something?" Now, are we calling that prostitution? Are we calling it exploitation? You know, I mean, that was a situation. I didn't even know that she was even going to ask you for that. You know, and it's fine. I ended up giving her something. You know, but the point is that, you know, there's a thin line between this whole thing. You know, if you go to pay a girl's bill or a phone bill in the States, you know, she comes over and hangs out with you, do whatever, and then the next day she says, "Hey, can you pay my phone bill?" And my phone's get shut off. You know, is that tricking? You know, I mean, you know, you're going to pay regardless. I guess I'm saying whether it's subtle or straight out, like on the street. So, like I said, there's a lot of hypocriticism here with some of the women are what they're saying. I'm referring to the ones in the States, but there are good women here. I'm not going to say there isn't. I'd say about 15% if I had to call it. But anyways, I'm done.
Good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Right. I'm Big J.
You're breaking up, Valentina. Uh-oh. We've lost the connection.
At the beginning. And I don't know.
We can't hear you. Repeat that again. Sorry, you broke up. Sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was gonna say that I know you say you're gonna close the live down. I don't know in how many more minutes, but I wanted to know earlier like there's a little situation on the live. I don't know if you want me to mention it, but I wanted to know if you want me to address that a little bit. I mean to address that little situation that happened earlier.
Feel free.
So I just want to Mr. Big J was kind enough to invite me on his panel. We're talking about Mr. Flip Flop right now, actually, because he came on earlier and kind of like attacked. Well, not only if he attacked me, he said something not kind, right? And I know he said that because I'm on a panel, right? And I want to just make this clear. Mr. Flip Flop, I respect him highly. I think he's a very good guy, very nice guy. And I consider him a brother with a passport. I know he's not out there doing dirty, right? So me and Mr. Flip Flop, we met up last year in Sosúa at his bar, right? And we had a chat. So when I did my video that I published yesterday with Mr. Flip Flop in it, I'm not out trying to make him look bad or trash him, you know, because mind you, I'm in a video with him, right? If my goal was to trash him, I will not be seen in a video with a brother who travels, who has a bad reputation. I wouldn't do that to myself because I look bad as well if I do that, right? But the reason why he's in a video with me, that was the only footage I have with a brother who travels, right? And Mr. Flip Flop travels. I don't have any other footage with a brother who travels. So that's why I use that. I don't have any malicious intent towards Mr. Flip Flop. I respect him. And Mr. Big J comes in the picture. Big J asked me a long time ago, you say a lot of interesting stuff on these panels with my brothers. I want to have you on my show one day. And I'm like, okay, we exchange numbers. Me and him have been in contact for a while, right? Yep. And then like 2 days ago, this week, Big J was like, right, I want to have you on a panel to discuss brothers with a passport, and then I was like, oh, I'm actually doing a video on that. I'm going to publish it tomorrow. But Big J, when he invited me to come on here, he didn't even know anything about the video I was working on. He didn't even know what the content was. And he didn't know that Mr. Flip Flop was going to be on it. But he already asked me to come on the panel or to come on the live. He asked me that a day before I published my video. And I told him, I'm working on that already. So sure, we can do a reaction to our video, right? So I'm going to make it clear right now, okay? Big J is a nice guy, he's a very nice guy. And I consider myself a very decent human being. I'm not gonna go out there try to trash Mr. Flip Flop. He works hard for his business, okay? So what I wish he had done was be like, okay, Valentina, I met you, you're a nice lady. I know you don't have malicious intent. Maybe it was maybe could have been, okay, maybe change the title to maybe take out the sex tourism part, or maybe take the video down, because Mr. Flip Flop actually wrote to me on WhatsApp. As soon as I upload the video, he wrote to me. I'm not going to repeat what he said because that's between me and him. And I was like, Mr. Flip Flop, I did not trash you. Did you watch the video, right? I was really like calm with him, right? And then I know he was upset. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't think he was going to be upset. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm in the video, right, with him. Like, I'm not going to be in a video with this bad passport bro, because I'm gonna look bad. People are gonna be looking at me and be like, yo, what are you doing with a guy who does those things? But I made it clear in the video, even with the caption, with the tag saying Mr. Flip Flop is a brother with a passport. I made that distinction to mean he's a good guy who travels and he has a business. And I even reference him. And when I'm talking about good guys, he's coming up on the screen, right? Because I respect him. I'm not here to trash him. I know he's upset with me because he's in a video talking about passport bros. But I made it clear that he's not a passport bro to me. To me, he's a brother with a passport. And I wish he had to reach out to me. Hey, Valentina, I met you. You're a cool girl. A lot of the guys I hang with like you. Let's talk about this. I would have been like, Mr. Flip Flop, I see your point. Let me see what I can change, or let me clarify maybe my next video. But he didn't talk to me. He didn't reach out to me. He just really say me a few, not so kind words. And then, I don't know, and I think he took me off his WhatsApp. I think he deleted my number from WhatsApp. We didn't even chat. I didn't even argue with him. And then he comes on here and really attacks Big J, another nice brother, who travels. But I'm saying, I know passport bro is a negative term. A lot of guys want to stay away from it. But let's also remember that we are friends, when you know somebody has a good intention, a good heart, take time, listen to them, talk to them. Like, I could have taken a video down yesterday. If he came to me yesterday and be like, Valentina, I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to shed light on this topic, but please maybe tweak some twist in your title, take it down. It was, as soon as I published it, I had enough time to take it down. It was soon after. But he didn't say anything to me. He just really just went off on me. And I'm like, really? Is that necessary? I could have worked with him because I don't have any malice intent. Even right now, Mr. Flip Flop, I have nothing against you. I still respect you. I respect your business. I think you're a nice guy, good guy. And I understand you're upset with me and not Big J because I'm his panel, but it's really not that serious. We are all grown-ups. Mr. Flip Flop, you're my elder. You are older than me, and I respect you. So if you listen to this, Mr. Flip Flop, know that in my heart, I have nothing against you. In my heart, you're not a passport bro. You're a brother with a passport. You have a business. You travel. You don't put your business out there for people. You're a good passport bro that I defined at the beginning of this live and also in my video. So I don't know what you're going to say to Mr. Big J, but don't lose your friendship with Mr. Big J, with Big J, because of me. Don't do that. If you're a real friend to him, you will not be that petty with him. Okay? And if you believe in your heart I'm a good person, you take your time to address this as an adult. Let's talk about it. Let's make a correction video. Because you did not mean any harm. I do not mean any harm on Mr. Flip Flop. Even right now, I still consider him a nice, decent human being. And him and Big J, please, I hope you guys will remain good friends. Don't let a female's video come between you guys. And Mr. Big J, I have to give it to you. You're a man of your own standing. You don't bow down to peer pressure. You invited me on your panel. You didn't take any sides. You saw my heart. And you went with your gut feeling. And for that, I respect you. And for that, Big J, I give you thanks. And for that, I know you're a brother with a passport. Thank you so much for believing in me, for knowing my heart, and knowing that I don't mean anything bad with my video. Thank you.
Salute. Well said. Well said. And like I said, I think there's a lot of I think at the moment of what's going on, the climate that we are with the whole, passport brothers situation, kind of everybody's on edge. I think just everybody's on edge. I'm not gonna repeat on here what I said to Mr. Flip Flop behind the scenes. I'm not gonna do that. I did reach out to him. I just thought he would have dealt with me a lot better. But I knew he was going to come on and make a comment. I knew it. I knew from this afternoon he was going to come and make a comment. So it didn't really surprise me. I just hope that he gets his mind together, really sits down and think about what he's done. And hopefully me and him will talk as men. I really hope me and him will meet up and talk about it, because I don't want to be doing this bullshit on YouTube. There's enough arseholes out there going against him, going against me, going against brothers with a passport that travel. We've got too much of it. I'm just at this stage now where I'm trying to totally remove because I'm not gonna lie, I've been involved in a lot of the negative crap. How can I put it? Encouraged it somewhat. Sometimes I've got to keep my mouth shut and stay out of crap that don't concern me. I think that's my problem half the time. But I just made a conscious decision. Just, you know what? I'm going to stay in my own lane. I'm the worst vlogger in the world. And I'm going to have good chats with people, good adult chats with people, bend the rules a little bit, and just talk about good conversations, man. And that's what I'm all about.
Right.
I like to challenge the misnomer. I love to challenge the misnomers. And like I said, have panels up here, and try and get to the seed of the problem of like we done today. And I hope it's answered a lot of questions today on the bad energy between Black women, Black men, African women, men, African American brothers, white brothers versus, white women, and so forth and so forth. That questions have been answered, and that I know we're never going to move on from this, because I'm sure we're going to have many conversations after this, because it's not the end. It's definitely not the end. But I just feel, and I say this, that's why I asked you, because I say I've got a lot of African friends, a lot. So I know the culture over there. And I stand on my square. If we go back to the old ancient African tradition of how the woman is, this bull crap will stop. But unfortunately, I know better. It's not gonna stop, because we've been indoctrinated, we've been brainwashed to believe that doing these things is a form of slavery, a form of abuse, a form of what's the word I'm looking for? Exploitation. Which is not good. Like I said, I have a conversation with my missus, and I tell her how the women are in the UK, and she literally, I'm not joking, Stallion NYC King, she laughs. She's like, what? They don't do this, they don't do that. En serio, amor. She's shocked. She's disgusted. I've even had conversations with her aunt about aunt speaks very good English. And they're in shock. They're like, we've heard, but are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. So like Valentina said, it's a cultural thing. And I think these sisters have lost, because we're all from Africa. They've lost that cultural aspect of themselves and been indoctrinated into this culture that's not theirs. It's not theirs. But because they confuse it with independence, we're always going to have this problem. We're always going to have, well, the passport bros just want a slave, you know. But I feel that when even now you've got the Filipino, the Thailand women laughing at them, and they just don't get it. You know, this thing goes more deeper. They don't get it. Why is these? And then they got to know. Oh well, they're whores anyway. These Filipino women and, you know, Thailand women and, you know, the whole Asian dysphoria. That's their culture as well. It's their culture. They don't have to be a prostitute to serve a man. That's their culture. But it's easy for them to excuse their behavior. It's easy. And I'm not going to sit here and say that men haven't got, we're perfect. We don't need to fix ourselves. Yes, we do. But at the same time, we don't want another man in the house. And I'll say that. Anybody?
All right, first of all, I want to say salute to Tony Hernandez in the building. Salute to everybody who's in the chat, supporting Big J. And also salute to the panel. We're all taking our time out this evening to talk on Big J's channel. You know, I've met Greg in Sosúa before, and he's just a New York City dude, yo. He oozes New York. Some of us New York dudes, or at least we stand on our foundation, yo. And as long as he's been out there in Sosúa, he hasn't lost the peak of where he's from. And that's where his attitude comes from, and it's got to be respected because it's who he is. And you've met him, Big J. You know he's a straightforward, strong type of dude, the way he talks, the way he presents himself. And also you are. I've been supporting you over 3 years now. We've been through the pandemic together. And even in the background, and you had a bad hotel, you know, I'll comment in the back and say, yo, move out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
always see, bro.
Me and you have never had a beef. But you know, I'm always game for entertainment. Whether it's YouTube wars or whatever it is, I'm game for a little bit of entertainment. But me and you have never had a beef, and I'm not two-faced to anybody. I'm just here for the entertainment, to give my perspective on certain situations. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that you and Greg will work it out. Okay? Yeah, you're a straightforward good dude, and so is he. You know, these YouTube streets are not clean. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They can get dirty real quick. You know, I've been through a lot of. You know, I've been through a lot of wars.
Yeah.
Tony Hernandez knows I've been through a lot of wars. Okay, but the strong survives. You know, the strong survives. You don't want to get cooked on somebody's channel, and you know you're going to get cooked. Don't go on that channel. You know, because
my thing is this, NYC King. If there's a problem, me and you have a right. If you're on the panel screaming real, yeah, and I get that. You're from this, you're from that, cool. And we have a problem. I'm gonna expect you, NYC King, to be like, all right, I'm a hit you up or you hit me up and I say to you, okay, NYC King, let's talk or let's meet up face to face as men. But I don't want YouTube knowing that we got a problem. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
I don't want YouTube knowing that we have a problem. That's not because I'm looking at you as a real cat. I'm looking at you as that you're a stand-up guy. And I've said to you, NYC King, I see that you're pissed off. I see what you say. But let's meet as men and talk. Let's not do the whole YouTube thing. Not make no comments, no side comments, nothing. Because no one didn't know we had a problem until he done that. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Right.
No one didn't know. Nobody. He made it known to the YouTube world. People saw. That's why I don't know if he was in the background, I took a breath and was like, really? After when we spoke? Really? Nah, I don't want to be doing that, bruh. Like I said, I've had problems with dudes. I've pulled up to their gates, which I shouldn't have done because my uncle checked me on that and said, yo, what are you doing? This guy's not gonna fight. It's YouTube. Stop doing that. No, that's why I got in the cab and went back. Yeah, that's why I got in the cab and went back to my hotel. It was
entertaining. It was entertaining. It was entertaining that you pulled up, but
But you were right. It wasn't I'll be honest, it wasn't entertaining for me. I really wanted to kick this guy's up. It wasn't entertaining because I wasn't used to this whole YouTube world. I'm a YouTuber. People would like to say, oh, I'm not. No, I'm a YouTuber, but I wasn't used to this YouTube world. Right. I thought, okay, when people talk at the side of their mouth, all right, cool, you want to play Mr. Tough Guy? All right, cool. We can meet in a ring or we can meet in an alleyway. Whoever walks out the alleyway is cool. That's the school I come from.
Right.
I don't know all about this. And then the thing is, so we're going to troll each other. All right. So I'm going to troll you. Next thing you know, brothers are striking channels. I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute. I didn't know that was in the rules. I thought, you're trolling me. Okay, I'm going to make videos and troll you. Now you want to strike. It's like the goalpost moves every time, NYC King. Right. This is why I say, you know what? And it's a lesson for me. I say and I repeat it again, it's a lesson for me to be like, you know what? I see everything 3D now about this YouTube thing. So that's why I took down my posts. As much as people want to think, Peso struck down all my videos. No. People, when I done the live, I said the last on my live, I'm done with this. When he struck down one of the videos, I took the rest of the videos down because I said I'm not gonna lose my channel over this. So I took down my videos. I said I'm done. I don't want to be arguing. Make as much videos, make as much videos as you want me. I'm done. I see everything in 3D. So I was disappointed that Flip, because I knew. I said, please Flip, don't make a stupid comment on YouTube. Please don't do it in the comments, please. And lo and behold, he done it. That makes me think different of him. After when we spoke behind the scenes, I said, Flip, YouTube don't have to know about this. Me as men. My girl lives where, I'm not going to say where he lives or where he puts out. My girl lives near him. Her family's from there. So when I go and see my girl's family, we will meet as men. You air out what you need to air out off your chest. I'm going to air out what I need to air out. I didn't want fucking YouTube knowing this shit. I didn't. I even said to Valentina, like, look, I'm not going to talk about, we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about, And when he came in the comments, I thought, fucking hell, why?
That was wrong. But that goes back to what I'm saying, that he's a New York City cat, and he may have been in his feelings. He's sitting in the corner.
But NYC King then but the thing is, he's already made it clear on my WhatsApp. Why do you have to go to YouTube? You see, this is the thing. One thing I've learned about YouTube,
He's still heated.
Truth. Hold on. You see the truth, The truth don't mean nothing on YouTube. That's one thing I've realized. It doesn't mean nothing. As long as if you've got a legion of fans behind you, they're always going to take your side, come what may. But I'm not going to get too much into principles and morals. Because you know why? Because people don't want to hear the truth. You can't be calling the kettle black. You can't do that. Especially when I'm saying to you as a man, yo, let's leave this shit off YouTube. Talk to me, but the whole world don't need to know about this. If me and you got a problem with NYC King, I'm saying, NYC King, I see you got your YouTube and everything. Yo, bro, can we meet as men? Let's just leave this off the whole YouTube thing. And you're like, all right, cool. And then you go and do something like that. I can't respect that, bro. I can't respect that. I can't respect that, bro.
I understand that.
You can't be telling me that you're from the streets and you're this and that. You can't be telling me that anymore.
Some people can't decipher YouTube from real world, and that's a problem. When you posted up at Cece's house, that was real world. Anything could have popped off.
Exactly.
So you gotta decipher on how things go. Maybe Greg is still in his feelings. You know what I'm saying? And
I get that. I get that.
When you go to his restaurant, he sits in one corner.
Yeah.
Right in the corner there, right with his laptop. Okay, he ain't hard to find. But some people gotta decipher YouTube They take their beef to YouTube. It's just like when you were going to war with this guy in the basement. I mean, I like a good YouTube war, and I knew that.
I'll be honest, that was just fun for me.
Yeah,
he
it was
took it to another level. He took it to another level and struck me, and I was like, hold on a minute,
until he struck you. Until he struck you, that triggered different. I'm good for. I like to egg it on. I like to see a good. You know, I vouch for you. Because I knew you were going to come out with some great videos.
Yeah.
And, you know, but you know, I egg it on a little bit because I like a good. You see it in the background.
No, I saw your comments. I saw your comments.
Yeah, it's war.
He broke the rules. He broke the rules.
But when you go to striking people's channels, that's a little too much. It's
like, hold on a minute, you're trolling everybody. You've made me, I'm a secret agent 007, and I even said, you know what, I'm privileged to be the first black James Bond. Thank you. So, okay, we're going to troll each other. Okay, so let's have fun. And obviously he couldn't take it.
He couldn't take it. Yo, he went to the ultimate degree of striking channels. You know, I was up for the James Bond look he had. I mean, it's the entertainment for me. But I thought
I found it funny. I did.
I found it funny too. I found it funny, and even when you were making retaliations, it was funny. But when you start striking people, the fun game is over because that means the other side couldn't take it. The other side couldn't take it, you know. So that was wrong, Pacer Man. I know you watched, and it's all funny.
That was wrong, man.
That's like pulling a gun out in a knife fight when you agreed to bring knives, and then they lost the knife fight, so they pull out the gun.
Right, that's wrong, Pacer Man, for what you did, man. You know, it's all funny games. You know, if you came out with the funny thing with Big J and being 007, which was a funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was a funny thumbnail, you know what I'm saying? And I know Big J was going to retaliate. I'm game for a good YouTube war, but don't strike channels like that, man.
Jay heard a lot of gross feelings on there in that roast.
You know,
and this why I think the roast done it. I think with the roast it done it because I exposed. The thing is, I exposed them with truth. They tried to expose on lies where I pointed out the truth. How can you say that you're against that when you're telling? Anyway, let's not even get into that. But anyway, yeah, the fact is, the facto is this, right? Is that when we done the live and I pointed out certain truths, I think that put the nail in the coffin for them. They just couldn't take it. But it's like you can dish it out, but you can't. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. let me make one comment. The one girl got on there that had the condo. I can't believe she got on there and tried to dodge a lot of stuff. I mean, bottom line was she knew that she knew Sosúa, and she knew what Sosúa was when she was looking for a place. Oh, she did.
She was good. She knew that the rents go higher there, and her ultimate goal was to do what she originally admitted she did, was to rent out for weekend warriors and so forth.
Exactly.
And but yet, you know, she doesn't. But by the same thing, she's saying that, you know, about the girls and paying them and all that kind of stuff, and talking about the guys that are there and all that. The thing is, if that didn't exist, her money wouldn't exist. So you can't have it both ways. I mean,
you can't have it both ways.
Can I say something about the testament, Casanova? Okay, just like I said at the beginning of this panel, I'm a type of person who I'm not a follower. I don't belong to any faction. Just like you, Mr. Big J. Big J, you know, you're your own person. Me as well. Like sometimes I've taken the time to go to Peso's channel, Peso Man, and I love his content. Yeah, I may not disagree. I may not agree with everything he says, but I go there and I feel like, okay, he's making good points. Okay, the ladies, okay, and that's what they say. Yeah, he gets a little bit ratchet over there, but I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, you know, he's like this guy doing these horrible things. Because I mean, I don't know him, but from what I've heard, he had me thinking about a lot of stuff, right? And I feel like people like Peso Man, this whole passport bro movement, I feel like, yeah, there is somebody like him to kind of like keep everybody in check, to keep the bad guys in check. The good guys, yeah, you know, let the good guys do their thing in peace, but the bad guys, I feel like him keeping the bad guys in check, like if he just focuses on that, I feel like he does a good job with calling them out. Because I feel like at the end of the day, all of us need somebody to hold us to our feet so that way we don't get too complacent, you know. And also like Caribe Casanova, I know probably you guys had an issue with him, and I know his all videos are all gone. Like his new channel has like really good content on like real estate. And Caribe Casanova, I don't have anything against him either. Personally, like when I was being attacked by this Latino guy online on YouTube, he's the only one who came to my defense. He really fought my battle for me. So for that, I'm always gonna be, grateful to him, because I'm that kind of person. I'm very loyal to those who do right by me. Just like him, right? Yeah. So like, I'm never gonna pick like a side on YouTube. I respect you, Big J. I respect Pastor Man, what he does. I respect
Casanova. Sorry to cut you, and that's my whole point. Look, I don't rock with Casanova. I don't. Sorry, Cassandra. I don't rock with him in any shape or form. But at the same time, I'm not going to be like, well, Valentina, me and you just done a live. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that, because you haven't got a problem with him.
Right. Exactly.
You say he came to your defense. I only can respect that on your part. I have to be like, okay, he came to Valentina's defense. I'm not going to bring you into something that's got nothing to do with you.
Right. Exactly.
That's my gripe with him.
Right. And that's maturity. And anybody who can take your stand, that's maturity. And I hope, like, everybody out there who may not like you or like me or like over on the panel, they're not gonna take it out against me. Oh, you were on Big J's panel. No, I can be friends with Big J, Pastor Man, it's like, as long as we know, like, me being friends with Big J does not reflect on our friendship, because that's between you guys, nothing to do with me, But it's not like, but if somebody's speaking bad about you, I'm gonna say, okay, this guy, he's been nice to me. I'm gonna vouch for you from what I know, based on what I know about you. But I'm not gonna throw you under the bus if you didn't do anything wrong to me,
All right.
So I understand what you're saying.
All right. About Casanova, okay. This is where you got to see things in 3D. Okay. Of course, he went after you and Flip. Okay. He went after you and Flip, and you also got on and had a fight with Backpack Val. Okay. But I see it. I like the dude. I think that he's entertainment. He's great entertainment. He speaks well, so he went after Flip and he went after you, Big J. Okay. But he kept it to he had his little channel, and he may not have had a lot of people. He may have put bots in there now and then. You know what I'm saying? He may have some mental issues, but I think the guy's really intelligent. I think the guy's really intelligent, and a lot of people with mental issues are really intelligent. I happen to like, I call him C's. I think he's good for YouTube. When he's on point, and when he attacks people, And at the end of the day, the dude showed up for a fight, and he actually had a fucking fight. He actually showed up for a fight. And
he showed up for a fight because he had no choice.
He had a choice. He could have stayed his ass home, but he showed. That's the choice. So he showed up. He gave the world, but he showed the world that at the end of the day, I'll show up. And you got to take your hat off to him. The pencil man. He may not be right, but then he's putting their stuff out there. He's catching them when they're right or wrong. Now, if he catches you wrong, and he catches these guys, they're posting stuff that like, oh, I did this. It's you're gonna have an opposite point to everything. You're gonna have guys who say, I'm gonna travel for sex. Then you're gonna have guys who lose for something. Okay, he happens to be the opposite side of it. I'm here strictly on a 3D entertainment purposes, Big J. I'm not here to say, oh, I'm gonna fly out there and kill somebody. I'm gonna kick your ass. No, that's taking it too damn serious. I'm here for entertainment. And when I ship my photos, I'll go cook some curry chicken or whatever, and I'll be happy. I'm not gonna take this back.
But the thing is, it's okay to have opposing sides. Because I sat over on
it's healthy. It's healthy to have
right. No, I agree to that point. And Jay calls a pissy man. I have to laugh on that. Anyways, and I've sat on this panel I think once or twice. Sitting. The problem is the only problem I have with him is when he starts putting out false narrative. When he puts the pictures up about the kids and all the other kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And the guy getting killed and all that. It's out. If he catches you, you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. He got you on film or something like that. Hey, that's all good. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's so crazy. If you got a video that says I slept with this homeless girl, and you got a video to prove it, you put yourself out.
Roast them. Yeah.
Roast them.
Right. I agree with that.
I just don't agree with the false narrative. That's all I don't agree with.
Right. That's everything. And the reason I got on there is when they were going after Philly, and I know Philly. I mean, I don't you know, I know why Jay was upset with him, and I'm with Jay on it because I talked to him myself after that video that he did. But you know, because I got his number and stuff. But he didn't deserve all that. I mean, those women were just like he was like a small lion and had a bunch of hyenas around him. You know, taking their
I told Philly not to go on that show. Okay, but I've been in the middle of the hyena circle. You know, I told Travel Squad, don't go into the circle because all they're going to do is jump on you, and don't be drinking because they'll get you even more. I've been in the middle of these hyena circles where they want to all jump on you.
But you know, one thing that did come out of it, it shows how unclassy, I guess we can put it that way without being nasty, the women were. That shows the lack of class that they have from what they did. It exposed them from that end of it. And I think Jay did a follow-up with what they call the roast, you know, with some of the stuff that, you know, that he brought him up on. He was bringing some very good points, and they were trying to dodge him on all that shit. I mean, you know, if you're going to come up on the live and everything, and he's got the evidence, just say, yeah, I did it. I apologize. I wasn't thinking, whatever it was. They were all trying to, do battle with him like they had to be right.
And well, they caught him up on the child support thing, which you don't really want to get into your children and which you give them on any social media platform, because that's an easy thing you can attack on how much money you give your child while you're traveling. Right. It made him look really bad. You could travel to all these places, which costs about $1,000 a flight, and you're not paying the proper child support. It's what these women were saying. So and then you reach out to your following and tell them about your problem, and you kind of ask for money, and then that's when they had a clip of him asking for.
Yeah, he thought by going on live he was going to clear the air and get be able to explain everything. But see, the thing is, they showed themselves how nasty they are, and this puts another nail in the coffin of why guys travel outside the states, because of just like that. That's another. They showed themselves. That's another example why. You know, I mean, who'd want to deal with somebody like that with that type of personality? I don't care if they look like, you know, Queen of Sheba. You know, I mean, and they wonder why guys just want to pump and dump. You know, when you have behaviors like that, nobody wants to be with you in the long run. That's just that. It's a turnoff. You know, but that, you know, I talked to Philly after the thing was over. We were talking about it, and I kind of just talked to him. I said, you know, you can't really entertain ignorance, and that's what that was. You know, and I said that, that gave Peso Man, aka Jay calls a pizza man, it gave him some views and some notoriety, and he's building his base of the haters, is what I call them. You know, most of the people that are on there on the panel, from what I can see in my experience and limited experience, obviously, that's the haters panel. So, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that because we need an opposite. Because sometimes, and I'm going to say this, and try to explain it. So I think he's doing.
It's got to be the last word because I'm going to shut down this live. So go ahead. Okay. I'll get everybody's last word. Go ahead. Okay,
cool. I think he did the right thing for the wrong reason. And what I mean by that is, he did, the thing he's doing when besides the slander stuff, the video, who was a big boss down there in Brazil, and he did a couple other minor things that he actually had proof of. Okay, that kind of keeps the guys in check. You know, when we travel, there's certain people that do certain things they shouldn't be doing. Okay, I'm okay with that, but he did it for the wrong. He did it for the wrong reason, and he did it for the right reason, but he did it for the fact is now he did the right thing for the wrong reason. The wrong reason is he wanted to build up his base. In other words, he got these haters all lining up on that side of the aisle. So now he's trying to build. There's a monetary gain for that. So so we can call what we want, but it is what it is. But I'm done.
All right, and I can say that before you close up, I'm not going to travel to a beautiful country like Brazil to sleep with homeless people. Now, if Peso Man if he capitalized on things like that, you shouldn't have these in the video. You should be proud of him. You shouldn't be proud of him. Okay. So on that note, You know, salute to the chat. You know,
blessings.
And salute to the panel. And you know, you guys out there traveling, man. You know, be careful what you're doing, and be careful with your posts, because everything you can use against you on YouTube, just like the court of law. You know, and people, you may think it's cool what you did. A lot of people will think it's disgusting. All right. To that note, good night to everybody.
Good night.
Blessings, bro. Valentina, any last words? And once again, people, please, before I go, Valentina, please, people that are listening, go to Valentina's channel. Just tap in African Dominican. Go and look at her videos, like, share, and subscribe. Great content she's got. So please go and check her out.
Thank you so much, Big J, for inviting me on your panel. Like I said, I feel honored, and I did not take it lightly. And I think this was a very great discussion. The live went really well. It was respectful. Big Soup came on, and he was, you know, at his best. And I love Big Soup as well. Great guy. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you did not watch this live from the beginning, please watch it from the beginning, because I did give a background on myself and also how I came into this traveling man or traveling world space. And also, like I said at the beginning of this live, there are two sides to passport bros, or brothers who travel, or brothers with passports. There is a tail. It's like a coin, a tail and a head, right? The tail is the bad guys, called the passport bros, and the head is the brothers with passports, the good guys. So when we talk about these passport bros, let's just remember that there are two sides to this term, and not everybody's out there doing nasty, terrible things. I'm on the side of the good Black men who travel, because I was raised by a Black man who travels, an ambassador, a diplomat. So I respect people who travel. I think everybody should travel. I love to travel. So thank you so much for that. And of course, I have a video with Mr. Flip Flop on my channel. And like I said, Mr. Flip Flop, no hard feelings. You know, all love, you know, and I hope, you know, you and Big J and myself, we can just squash this little whatever it was and just continue making good content, being great people. Big J, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless all that you do. And thank you so much again for having me. And God bless you, everybody in the chat and the panel. And thank you for your understanding as well.
Thank you. And on that note, good night, Valentina. And I hope that we do more of these lives, and I'll come on your panel too.
Yes,
we
you have
can just
to come.
build, man. We can just build.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Okay. God bless you. Okay.
God bless you too.
So there it is, folks. Man, what a interesting, very interesting. Shout out to everybody that pulled up onto the panel. Shout out to all the super chats as well. I really appreciate that, all your super chats. And we will be doing more lives and more builds on this. I got some, you know, stuff coming out as well. As I said, panel, I'm just trying to move away from all of this negativity crap, you know, because it's just not worth it anyway. For those 17 people, go over to BLB's channel right now. I'm going over to BLB's right now. So go over to BLB's channel right now. Big Soup's over there and Co and BLB. So I am out. Peace, love, manners and respect. Be kind and balance.